Okay. But I'd say I'm not because I don't know the 100% truth.
Okay, right. And for you to deny that you know this as a fact, even though he admitted it to you and the victims that this happened to have spoken up, is delusional, right? This is no different than a person denying the findings of NASA, scientists, geologists, and so on and so forth, by arguing that the Earth is flat. And the only difference is, right,
I don't think that's a comparable argument.
That is incredibly baseless is actually harmful.
Okay, I don't think that's a comparable comparison, but you know what?
I would absolutely say it is. The comparison is that there's absolutely no reason to believe that the Earth is flat, and we have so much reason to believe that the Earth is round. There's absolutely no reason to deny that Donald Trump sexually exploited young women and girls, and there's so much reason to believe that he did do it, that reason being his own admission and the testimony of multiple victims.
I don't know why this person's sending me roses, too. I'm just trying to have a conversation. I don't even know how this works, but all right, I'm going to take a little vape break. You can, too. I'm just being serious, too. I'm being serious. I'm just going to rub my vape to the lock-in with my conversations. Give that nicotine to my brain.
I want you to respond to what I just said, then I'm going to move on, okay? Because I'm not going to start my day with a conversation with somebody that wants to write off sexual exploitation and the mission of such as quote-unquote satire, okay? Right? I want the next 4 hours of my life to go a little bit differently, especially...
I know. I just feel like you're misconstruing my words, though, Dean. I just don't know that
precisely did I misconstrue?
Because people bomb on terrible jokes all the time. We've brought up yesterday how Trump does have a past of being a creepy dude. But that doesn't change the fact that people bomb on stupid jokes that are unfunny 24/7, Dean.
I'm going to play you this clip. I want you to give me one indicator that it's a joke, okay? Because usually when somebody's telling a joke or trying to tell a joke and then bombing it, right, there's some type of indication that it's a joke, right? Like when you go up to a stand-up comedy show, you could kind of tell based upon their tonality, the way that they deliver a statement, kind of waiting for the audience to laugh, so on and so forth, right? I want you to go ahead and tell me how you know that what he's saying here is just an attempt at a satirical joke and not an admission of something terrible. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, and in fact, I'm actually going to play you the full context of this. Let's go and listen to the full minute and a half, and you tell me what makes it obvious it's a joke.
You're meeting the girls this lab. One of them comes up to you and says, "Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
Well, you're a powerful man, right? Right? You're a powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you." Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to.
I was trying to set up a joke for him.
I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything, right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with the vagina. And,
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, anybody with a brain, anybody with any level of with an evaluative ability to listen to a clip and take away contextual clues of the representation of the content presented, right, can very obviously tell that Howard Stern was almost interviewing Trump and asking him questions. Howard Stern straight up said, "So you have done this. Tell me about this. Give your side of the story. Tell us what you have done." And then Donald Trump goes on to tell Howard Stern exactly what he's done. He says, "So something I have done, something I do, something I get away with." And here it is. And you're saying, well, Howard Stern's a comedian. Maybe he was just trying to tell a satirical joke. I think that Donald Trump tried to work bad jokes into a statement there. We were saying, here's something I have done. I'll go backstage to be a pervert, to look at the women and girls while they're naked. And he says, oh, well, I'm just inspecting them. That's an attempt at a bad joke, right? But it's a bad joke rooted in the true story that he's telling, which is that he would sexually exploit these women and girls, okay? It doesn't take much of a brain to be able to recognize and understand that, okay? There is absolutely no possible reality where any reasonable person can listen to that clip, sit back and say, well, it was a joke as a whole. That you're just denying reality.
All right. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but I'm not going to sit here. I hate the fact
Give
that
me
people
the
are saying I'm
contextual clues. No, we're not going to agree to disagree. I just gave you a full fleshed out description how the contextual clues and how the information was presented by Trump and how the information was requested by Howard Stern, right, does not lead to this notion that it's just all a big joke and something that never ever happened. Okay? So go ahead and tell me, right, how can you listen to that clip and then reasonably conclude that the whole thing was a joke and this is something Trump has never done, even though he said this is something Donald Trump has done. This is something he said he has done himself, and this was something that Howard Stern asked him to go on to describe, and it's something that multiple women and girls have testified saying that this happened to them.
Okay. Can I go?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Basically, I feel as if it was anyone who said that besides Donald Trump, it would be considered satire humor. One, just because I get it. I'm repeating myself, Dean. Like I said, I'm not as good as a debater as you, so I can't make these great points. But I do think, just based on the fact that it's Howard Stern, the most full... I've watched literal Howard. I don't like him. He's not the best. It's straight satirical jokes on all of his shows. They have Beetlejuice on, Dean. Like, I really do think Trump was just trying to make a stupid joke, and it was cringy, it was gross, and it was not funny.
Okay, so you don't have an argument, okay? You can't draw on the framing of the words said, the actual words said, the tonality in which he said them to attempt to make an argument that it was all a big joke. You could only repeat your claim that you think it is a joke. Sir, you're a goddamn cult member. I want you to leave my live now. Go ahead, leave. I'm not talking to you anymore.
How am I a cult member? I already said you yesterday.
You're a cult member because you're denying reality.
Can I say one more thing, please?
No, you can't. Do you want to leave or do you want me to kick you?
You can kick me, dude.
All right, sounds good. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Let's try to find somebody with half a brain. Dude, stop pissing me off. We're only 30 minutes into the stream. We're only one debate in, and we already have somebody just blatantly denying reality. Dude, that's such a sick view. That is what allows for this to happen. That is what allows for this to happen. I mean, right, the moment when we just heartedly endorse sexual exploitation by just saying, well, it's a joke, right, is the moment where you leave victims behind and you allow that shit to happen again and again and again and again. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded up in here. We got Bowser, hashtag the GOAT, connecting to the stream. Just make sure if you're in that queue that you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. What's up? Do you support Trump? Bowser, you got 5 seconds, my friend.
1, 2, Tina.
That is a child. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the live. We got Make Money joining in while we get that next guest loaded up in here. Eric, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo, my friend. Holy crap, Eric. Oh, let's go to kick that guy. Eric with a $50 says, please remind me, are Republicans for states' rights or for bigger federal government? I'm confused these days. No, listen, Republicans will like to say that they're for states' rights, so then they could attempt to justify sending a woman or girl's ability to get an abortion back to that state level. But then they're like for federal overreach when it's Trump declaring war in American cities and militarizing the streets, Memphis, Chicago, Portland, so on and so forth. What's up, Lacey? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, gotta be 18 to be on live. Very close, my friend. Come back in a year. Moving on to the next guest here. We got Carter loading up in. Once again, dude, let's show some love to Eric down below. That is ERIK. Thank you so much for the love, Eric. You are absolutely great. As well as let's show some love to Christopher down below in that comment section over for the $20 on Venmo. Let's get 200 Christopher W's. Thank you so much, man. Christopher says, love from this place with a name that I can't pronounce. Christopher, love to you, and thank you so much for the $20. As well as Haven, thank you so much for the $5. And Kayla, thank you for the $5. And Bree, thank you for the $10, who says, change my views from the information you've given out. That's awesome, Bree, guys. Thank you so much for the love. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
6'7".
All right, he really waited to get that one in, guys. Go ahead and let me know down below in that comment section if you're a Trump supporter. The queue is just full of trolls. Okay, listen, we have 11.4 thousand people watching the stream right now. If you're watching from home and you are a Trump supporter and you'd like to come up onto this live and have a conversation with me, go ahead and type a me with your age down below in that comment section. As well as May May, thank you so much for the meteor shower. You are awesome. Huge shout out to May May down below. We're looking for that next guest right now. We are trying to pull pull from the comment section compared to the actual queue. So let me know in the comment section if you'd like to come up and have a conversation, and we'll get you loaded into the live. While we're getting that next guest loaded in, Miss Anna, thank you for the $10 on PayPal, who says, Dean, I'm fighting complex health issues, and your streams are an amazing way to pass the time and distract me. And I'm really sorry to hear that you're facing some health issues, but I'm happy that the streams can help you out, pass some time, and reduce your overall boredom. Let's show some love to Annie down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love, Anna. As well as Chloe, thank you for the 5. So Safia, thank you for the 5. And Mesh, that is MESH, thank you for the $20 over at PayPal, who says, just keep clocking Maga. Mesh, I'll never stop. Thank you so much for the love. While we're getting that next guest loaded up into the stream, so show some god diddly damn love to Mesh down below in that comment section, as well as Victoria. Thank you so much for the 5.
Dean, I love you.
Dude, okay, thank you. Too young. Get out of here. You got to be at least 18 to join the live. Goodbye. Welcome into Sport Trump.
Hey, Dean.
Hey, are you MAGA? You got 5 seconds before you're banned. And you're
What's going
banned.
on?
Moving on to the next guest, we got Tay loading up into the box. Here we go, folks. Just looking for a Trump supporter. They're nowhere to be found. Seriously, guys, MAGA is so fucking scared today. Hey, Tay, are you a Trump supporter or are you banned?
I am.
You are. How old are you?
24.
Okay, all right. Let's have a conversation quickly before we hop into it. Do you think I could get a W McKinsey from you?
No, sorry, you can't.
Wait, why not? Why can't I just get a quick W McKinsey? What about this? What about a W Emily?
Are we gonna have this conversation?
Yeah, we will have this conversation, but I want to go ahead and show some love to Mackenzie for the $20 over on Venmo, and Emily with the 25. Thank you so much, Mackenzie and Emily. Thank you guys so much. Mackenzie with the $20 says, back again. Thank you so much for what you do. I got my whole family watching you and making fun of the delusional MAGA supporters. Mackenzie, that is awesome. Shout out to you and your family. Thank you for the $20. 200 Mackenzie W's down below. Then Emily with the $25. Let's go to see what she has to say. She says, did you see what the government posted on the USDA website? Full-blown propaganda manipulation. Please talk about this. You know what? Actually, yeah. Let's talk about that. Thank you for the $25, Emily. You said that you're a Trump supporter today. The first question of the day is actually going to be talking about exactly what Emily just brought up there over on Venmo. How do you feel about the fact...
Well, I had a question for you really quickly.
Can I ask you a question first? Then I'll
Sure,
let you
go
ask
ahead.
yours. Okay. How do you feel about the fact that, well, the government is shut down, the Department of Agriculture has run out of money to fund food stamps? By the way, the government's controlled by Republicans. So now, starting November 1st, food stamps are going to be cut off for 41 million Americans. And Donald Trump's response, right, when asked if he would allow emergency funding to be spent on those food stamps, very similar to how it's being spent on ICE, he said no. And when he was asked if he would reimburse states for picking up the bill until the government is shutdown is over, he also said no, meaning he had the ability to keep these food stamps going, and he declined to. And then he turned around, went on the USDA official government website, violated the Hatch Act, and then lied and said the reason why you won't be receiving these food stamps is because of Democrats, when in all reality, it is the Republicans who control the White House, the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the Supreme Court. It's the Republicans who own the shutdown, and then it's specifically him and his White House who refused to give emergency funding to food stamps, even though they could have. But then he turned around and blamed it all on the Democrats.
So what exactly was your question there?
The question is, what are your thoughts? How can you still support such a maniac who values attempting to make his political opponents look bad, overvaluing wanting to keep 41 million Americans fed?
You gonna let me respond?
Yeah, you just asked for clarification, so I wanted to give it to you.
Okay. So I want to first make it very clear that I do not align with every single thing that Donald Trump says. Not in the slightest. So I want to make that very clear from the get-go. On behalf of that subject, I don't really have an opinion, I guess. I don't want to... I mean, I can give an overall answer as to that's very sad. I don't think that millions of Americans should lose their access to food stamps.
Okay. All right.
But
so
I don't know the context of everything, and I don't...
Donald Trump had 3 ways to prevent that. okay, not causing or stopping the shutdown, okay, giving emergency funding to SNAP benefits, or making a pledge and a promise to reimburse states once the shutdown is over. Donald Trump said no, no, no to all three ways, and then he said it was the Democrats' fault that these people won't be getting food stamps.
Okay, well, I don't think that people should be, their access to these food stamps should be cut off. Obviously, this feeds millions of Americans, their children, their families. No, I'm not in support or aligned with that.
Good. So now how do you feel about Donald Trump having three ways to prevent that, not preventing it willingly, then blaming it on the Democrats?
I think he should have.
Okay, so the fact that he didn't and then turn around and blame it on the Democrats kind of proves in my mind that he doesn't care about Americans. Okay? Because what that shows is that he cares more about making the Democrats look bad than, as we already agreed, keeping 41 million Americans fed.
So what was your question?
Why do you support a president that places party lines over the health of 41 million low-income Americans?
I mean, I think we could go back and forth with multiple things that each president that has been in office has done that we don't personally agree with, right?
Could you give me something comparable to that scale of placing party lines over the health and well-being of 41 million Americans that Biden or Harris did?
Just certain things that Biden has said, I guess.
Well, I don't really think that any like amount of words,
Isn't that
right, would ever be the same as like materially harming the health, safety, and well-being of 41 million Americans. But I mean, try it, okay? What has Biden said that is worse than placing party lines, right, over the health, well-being, and safety of 41 million Americans and denying them access to food when he had three ways to allow them to have access to food?
I'm pretty sure he's spewed some racial rhetoric, right?
Just be more specific. Like we're just looking for something.
I'm not
that's
too keen on the
to
sources. This is
what
why
Donald
I
Trump
didn't
did.
want to really comment on that. I really just wanted an answer to the question I was going to bring up.
Okay, so just to make it clear,
Because I'm not prepared to debate certain topics or certain aspects of the entire Constitution. You know what I mean?
Okay, so just to make it clear, we can move on. You could ask your question. We could debate whatever you want to debate insofar as why you support Trump. But before we do move on, I want to make it clear, right? You have now, right, been able to understand how Donald Trump places owning the libs, right, and demeaning Democrats over the health, well-being, and safety of 41 million Americans. All right. And
Yes, and can you give me some sources
in response
to
to that,
look into this?
in response to that, you said, right, that, well, the Democrats have done similar things in power. I then asked you for an example of something that Biden or Harris did that was comparable to that, and you failed to give me one. All right. So there's where we are.
But I made
You can
that
now
very
ask
clear
me-
from the get-go, did I not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. You can now ask me your question. You can now make your argument. But I think that is quite an insane fact to concede to and then still be a Trump supporter.
Okay. So yesterday on the live, I don't know if you remember debating James.
Was that a question?
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
debating James
I remember
yesterday?
debating James just like I remember debating him the other 15 times.
Okay. Well, I wasn't aware. I don't watch it very often, but I had a question regarding something he had said, and it was after. Am I able to say DEATH on here?
You could say death, but remember,
Okay.
we're not here to discuss what James said on the live yesterday. We're here to discuss why you support Trump as president.
Right. Well, I'm getting there, I promise.
Okay. All right.
So the death of Charlie Kirk yesterday, he had said something about you having an emotional response.
We're
After that.
We're also not here to discuss my response to Charlie Kirk's passing, right? His execution. If you want to know about my response, right? I have around an hour video up on YouTube just discussing that. Right?
Will you
But once
please
again,
let
we're
me
here
get to my point? Will you please let me get to my point? You
Yeah, of
berate everybody else. I'm just
I'm
asking you to
genuinely
answer one question.
I'm genuinely not trying to berate you. I don't think I'm being rude. I don't think I'm being mean. I'm just simply asking you to stay on track. Now, if this is going
No,
somewhere,
you've
go
been
ahead.
good with me. You've been good with me, and I'll give you that. I've just seen some disrespectful things with other people. And I think that, how do I want to word this? If we're going to come together as a people, we need to be respectful on either side. And
I'm not gonna show respect for somebody that is so incredibly harmful to this country and everybody in it. I'm just not willing.
I
to do
get that. I get that, Dean. I totally get that. And I totally understand your stance there. I'm saying, do you feel like a lot of Trump supporters have been fed misinformation?
Yes.
And do you think that some of that's their fault and maybe some of it's not?
Yeah, I think that there's social pressures that are conducive towards people believing in misinformation, like the social environment that they're brought up by, and then which like would be on the fault of society. And then there's also a personal fault of like refusing to do like research into these things, even when presented with an opportunity to do so, or when presented with a fact. So far, I agree with everything that you're saying.
Okay, so when you come up here, I feel like rather than laughing at people, and this, I'm saying this as respectfully as I possibly can, I feel like we should make it to where we're educating people on why certain things we say are right or wrong, rather than being like, oh, you're just a moron, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, well,
I'm not saying that you've called
the
it
fact of the matter is, right, I do genuinely try to educate individuals, and I also give the, I give the tone that I get back to whoever's giving it to me, right? And when I laugh at people and call them stupid idiots, it's not because they're coming up here and just believing in misinformation because of some social pressure than having their mind changed by me, but it's rather when we have, right, like cultish guests, right, such as the last guy who came up here and was just espousing obviously false beliefs with no reason to find them to be the case, and then even when I present them with a counter argument to prove them wrong, right, and then I describe the harm that their misinformation is causing, they still believe in it, right? Yeah, I'm going to laugh at you and call you stupid idiot, because at that point, right, education is not what's going to change your mind, but hopefully a social pressure of calling you out for your bullshit will, okay, right? And sometimes that is what is required for some people. But if you come up here with a nice, calm demeanor and you're here to just genuinely have a good faith discussion with me about why you support Trump, well, then you're going to get the tone that I'm giving you right now, which is a little bit more respectful and cordial, right? But once again, just to redirect us back to the topic, tell us why you support Trump as president. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Please take it away.
Okay, so first I wanted you to answer this question, and I promise it's going to get to the point. So I heard that you had come back online after the death of Charlie Kirk and apologized for the response that you had.
If you want to know precisely what I apologize for, go watch the video. We're not here to discuss that. We're here to talk to what we're here to talk about. Well,
I'm just asking if you condone political violence.
So you're just asking if I condone political violence. Do you mean condemn?
Do you condone political violence? Are you okay with political violence?
Oh, am I okay with violence? No, I'm not okay with violence. Now please tell us why you support Trump.
Okay. So I feel like a lot of, for example, have you seen what had went on in Portland, Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, I saw somebody dancing around in a frog costume, then getting pepper sprayed through their breathing hole by an ICE agent, yes. Also saw a Christian pastor being shot in the head with a pellet gun by an ICE agent. Yeah.
Yes, and that's one way to look at it. Right. I'm asking you to look at it from the perspective that, okay, first, I'm sure you probably don't agree with this, but would you call Antifa an ideology, or would you say that there is some truth that this is a group that has formed and is going around harming individuals?
You can't say that you disagree with political violence and then call people that are anti-fascist terrorists.
Okay. But when these people are committing terroristic acts,
I just want to make it clear. You're saying these people, you understand that those people include me. I'm Antifa. You understand that those people include every person that fought in World War II. They're Antifa too. I'm Antifa. Are you Antifa? Are you anti-fascist?
Of course I'm an anti-fascist.
Wait, so you're Antifa.
I do not.
Do you self-describe as a terrorist?
You cannot be that willfully ignorant, Dean. Not with as smart and educated as you are.
Come on, dude. He's saying that Antifa are now domestic terrorists. You just said that you're Antifa. Obviously, that would imply that they're according to Trump.
Let me think of an analogy for this one.
Okay.
If for some reason Trump supporters came up with a term that was also viewed as an ideology, but they were forming in groups and harming Democrats and federal agents, would it still just be an ideology to you?
I'm confused on the nature of your question, and I'm also confused on how this would relate to me labeling myself as Antifa. I'm going to ask you to be more clear, concise, and direct with your statements, because right now you're kind of muddying the waters and not making much sense.
Okay, so just because this group aligns with a term that can also be synonymous with an ideology doesn't mean that the group in and of itself does not exist.
I'm also really confused on what you just said. You're not making much sense. And Antifa's not a group. You understand that, right? And Antifa's like a political ideology. It's not a group. There's not like an Antifa HQ.
Would you agree with me that there is a group going around that labels themselves as Antifa that has committed political violence?
No, I disagree with you. I don't think that there's a group going around labeling themselves as Antifa that's committing political violence. I think that there's people.
Okay, well then I'm going to refer you to some sources to where you can go look it up.
I think that there's people that label themselves as Antifa. I don't think that there's like an organized, chartered group on the large scale of people that label themselves as Antifa then commit political violence. You're espousing QAnon conspiracy theories.
This isn't a conspiracy theory, though.
Yes,
this is something I have witnessed with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah. So you saw like the Antifa HQ. You saw some Antifa soldiers come out and then like, kill Republicans.
They do. Not all necessarily, but hard.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wait, I have a question. The 72 violent rioters that raided our Capitol on January 6th spread their own shit. One moment, I'm speaking. Spread their own shit on the walls and then attacked cops like Officer Fanone that Donald Trump then called patriots and let out of jail 8 years before their term was over. Were they Antifa?
No. Listen, just because someone commits political violence does not mean that they're labeled this or labeled that.
Can you please show me where like a Democratic leader has like called members of Antifa that were committing political violence patriots?
I can refer you to resources where they have not condemned the political violence that Antifa commits.
Okay, I'm curious. I want to see where this conversation leads. Do it.
Okay, Nick Shirley on YouTube. Go watch one of his YouTube videos.
So Nick Shirley is the name of somebody, not a source of like a Democrat failing to condemn violence.
Okay, I could give you the actual
the people
URL
that
if that's what you'd like.
the people that fail to condemn violence, right? That's your champion. That's this administration. Not only did they fail to condemn the violence on January 6th, they supported it and let them out of jail, and they also caused it.
I don't think that's very productive, Dean, because I already told you.
So if it's not productive to talk about how the president,
I was speaking here.
I understand that you're speaking and I'm interrupting, unfortunately, for the productivity of this conversation. If it's not productive to discuss how the president that you champion and support running our country today, right, labeled, right, like in my mind, the true domestic terrorist that tried to insurrect our capital, spread shit on the walls, tried to kill our congressmen and women, tear gas them and beat and kill cops as patriots and let them out of jail, well, then what is the productivity in acting as if Antifa is some organized organization that's actively committing political violence? I think what this tells me is that you value your anti-intellectualism and your QAnon conspiracy theories about what the nature of the left is and what it means to be Antifa and the supposed violence that they cause over the reality of the actual violence that we know exists and the actual response to that violence that we have seen from the White House very clearly and transparently being that not only do they not condemn it, but they actually condone and appreciate, applaud, and award it by letting them out of jail and labeling them as patriots.
Okay, I don't understand how you're being productive by coming at me with something like that when I just clearly told you that I do not condone that type of behavior.
Okay,
but I'm not being what you would call rightist and only condemning the left. I'm condemning both parties.
Well, the thing is I'll only condemn something that I know exists, and I don't know that an organized, chartered, large spread group labeled Antifa.
Okay, well, do you have eyes and can you see people that have committed the acts? You're telling me you've never saw someone that calls themselves a part of Antifa commit political violence. You've never seen that.
Well, I mean, I don't think I have.
Yes, you have.
I don't think I have, but here's what I'll say. I wouldn't doubt it that somebody that has labeled themselves as Antifa has done something politically violent. Like, I'm just like sure because of the sheer amount of Americans in this country that somebody at one point has done that.
It's not just one person, though, Dean. This is multiple people.
Well, listen, even like speculatively, because there's like over 350 million Americans, right, that there's been multiple instances of people labeling themselves as Antifa than doing political violence. Like, listen, I wouldn't be able to like point towards any direct sources, right, to indicate that this has occurred. But I could like speculate that it has, right, just because of the sheer numbers of how many Americans there are. And?
Right, but I think it's very important to look at both sides. I mean, if
so where are we going with this, and how does this play into why you support the 34 count felon adjudicated rapist as president? Because remember, that's a topic
because of
stream.
how far some of the left has gone. But I mean, if you want to
I don't think that the left
can
is,
actually
listen,
debate.
I don't think that the left has gone further left. I think that the right has gone further right. You understand that both Bush and Reagan, right, are now liberals. You understand that, right? That now Bush and Reagan are have many beliefs that are now defined as on the left because of how far right MAGA has gone. This morning, before, I wouldn't say that they're liberals. They have a lot of beliefs that now align with the left because of how far right MAGA has gone. This morning, okay, I was watching the primary debates for the presidency in I don't know, it was the 90s, 2000s, whenever Reagan was running for re-election. I'm not too good on my history there. That's my fault. And they were asked about immigration and undocumented immigrants in this country. Bush took the mic and he was like, listen, right, I think that there are many undocumented immigrants that are in this country that are hardworking families that just want to be able to provide for themselves and make this country better, right? And they're existing in this country, because they broke the law and coming in. But I don't think that means that they should be treated any differently from their neighbor, right? And their children should be allowed a free education, K through 12, and they should have all the same rights and dignity and respects that their neighbors do. 1980s, thank you guys for correcting me. And then Reagan hopped in and was like, I actually agree with everything Bush just said, and I actually think that we should give them amnesty and make them president. Make them residents or citizens. Okay? When you hear somebody saying that today, right, that's going to be coming from the mouth of a leftist or a liberal. When you heard somebody saying that in the 80s, it was coming from the mouth of one of the worst Republican presidents we have had in the last 50 years. Okay? So what does that tell you about how much further right the MAGA movement has pushed the Republican Party in modern American history?
Well, I'm sure you could look at it both ways and argue that some people that leaned more towards the left now lean more towards the right.
Yeah, give me an example of like a Democratic president in the last 50 years that we now look at as somebody who's like so far obviously like a Republican.
Well, that's why I came up to ask my question, because
so you can't give me an example, dude. Okay,
I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay, so then name a Democratic
but you won't
president.
Let me. You keep cutting me off.
Name a Democratic president that we now look at as like an obvious Republican today.
I can't, and this is what I'm telling you, is that I was not able to come up here and debate these topics with you because I have not done not even close to enough research on them. Okay. Well, then I am still on my political journey, but if you want a topic to debate that I feel ready to debate, we could do abortion.
Yeah, and by the way, I just want to clarify there on something that I said. I said that Reagan is now considered a liberal. That's not true. That's not true at all. I just want to be extra clear that what I meant to say is that now Reagan held on to some beliefs then that are now viewed as widely adopted, right, liberal beliefs. So I want to be able to clarify in that point because I misspoke earlier. So yeah, it seems like you came up here, right, without much information and without being willing to come up here and have a conversation with me. Now you said that you wanted to talk about abortion. Okay, so are you pro-life?
Yes.
Okay, even in circumstances of rape?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that, my friend. Let's go ahead and have that conversation. Before we do, let me go ahead and thank a couple people. Angel, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, who says, identifying as Antifa but supporting this administration as having lukewarm moral values. You are not Antifa. You are nothing more than an accomplice that would tell Adolf where Anne Frank was hiding. Thank you for the $10, Angel. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Let's go ahead and thank a handful of others, too. If you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, found in the link tree in my bio over on TikTok, as well as in the pinned message of the YouTube stream, as well as Rachel. Thank you so much for the $4.44 over on Venmo. Appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much. Saying, I used to cringe at your debates. Now I'm genuinely impressed. Keep it up. Thank you, Rachel. As well as Devin. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much for the love, Devin. Madison, thank you for the $3. And Emily, thank you so much for the $5. And then, Christopher, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, who says, I'm from Ohio. Just cooked my friend, and I got him to stray from MAGA to center at least using your debate style. You're the fucking goat. Dude, good to see you again, Christopher. I know that you were hanging out with us yesterday. Good to hear that you're finally cooking MAGA. Let's show some love to Christopher down below in that comment section for the $20. And then let's get 500 Dan W's. Holy fucking shit, Dan. Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Dan, all the love in the world to you. That is literally so kind. Thank you so much. That is so much fucking money. Holy shit. Dan with the $50 says, thank you for all that you do. Dan, you're the fucking goat. Thank you so much for your kindness. Let's show some Dan love. See what I did there? To Dan down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the love. All the love to Chris, Dan, and all the other donors. I'd also like to show some love to some of the the donors over on PayPal, like Matthew with the $10, who says, day 7 of donating to you. Love your streams. Keep it up. Matthew, good to see you again today. Thank you for the $10. As well as Jessica and Jennifer, thank you so much for the 5. And Anthony, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Anthony. You are fucking awesome. Show some love to Anthony down below in the comment section. Let's see. Have you ever watched Tashika Ann debate Maga on TikTok? If there's a moment where the guest is espousing disgusting beliefs, she boots them immediately. I love how you dig into their reasoning, but I also suspect most fans would also like you to support protecting their peace a little bit more if you want. Yeah, Tashika Ann is a disgusting person herself. She called for my public execution and hanging, and like not even a week ago on TikTok Live, she said that the individuals being deported by the Trump administrations are like all dumb Mexicans that support him. Not to mention Victoria, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. Appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you guys so much. We are all caught up. So I'm actually going to go and pass the mic off to you now. You said that you think that victims of grape that are impregnated by the grape should be denied access to abortion per your moral prescriptions. Here's my question. Okay.
That wasn't my exact words. I don't ever remember uttering that phrase, but okay, go ahead.
I asked you if rape victims should be allowed to access abortion, and you said no.
So I could also turn that around and be like, should we pretty much solve an evil by committing an evil act?
Well, the thing is I don't think that a victim of rape accessing abortion is evil. But just to clarify there, when I said that you don't think that if a woman is raped and impregnated, she should be able to access abortion, was it accurate or inaccurate?
Do you think murder's an evil act?
Yes, I think that murder's an evil act. I just don't think that abortion is murder. Now, can you answer my question?
I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
So I said that you think victims of rape, right, women that are raped and then impregnated by that rape, should be denied access to abortion. And then you said, those weren't my words, I don't remember saying that. And then I said, well...
Because I didn't say that word for word, but go ahead.
And then I said, well, you did say that victims of rape shouldn't be able to access abortion, right? Can you answer that?
I don't think that this is kind of what you're doing. You're trying to make me sound like an evil individual, and I'm nowhere near. I love everybody, and I think that once life begins, as every biologist agrees, life begins at conception, and the intentional taking of a life is murder. I don't think that we should solve such a heinous, disgusting act by murdering an individual.
Okay, all right, well, sounds good. So if you think that it's quote-unquote evil, and it makes you look quote-unquote evil, when I say that you believe victims or women that are raped and then impregnated because of that rape should be denied access to abortion, that's something that you believe, you think that statement is evil, then I've already won the debate.
No, because it's the way you're perpetuating it and like trying to portray me as some type of sick, twisted individual.
Yeah, if you think it's sick and twisted,
I'm saying
right?
that's...
If you think it's sick and twisted to think that if a woman is raped and impregnated, she should be denied access to abortion, right? Well, then, like I already said, I'll say it again. I've already won the debate. All right, I'm glad that we agree. I'm glad that we agree denying victims of rape access.
We don't, and you're not going to do this. You're not going to use me.
So we don't agree that denying victims of rape access to abortion is sick, twisted, and evil. So then why did you say that it was?
It's the way that you're trying to make it seem. It's not what it is.
What did I say that was wrong? Here, let me just repeat what I said, and then you tell me exactly which...
This is not productive, Dean.
Tay, this is the most productive way to go about this dialogue. I'm going to repeat what I said, and then you're going to tell me, like, which
It's the most productive way for you to get your views.
Okay, well, the way that is not productive for us to have this conversation is for you to interrupt me. All right?
You've interrupted me multiple times.
Yeah, I have. I think that interruptions are always unproductive. I think they can sometimes be productive. I think maybe some of the times I've interrupted you have been productive.
If it's you interrupting me, right? That's when it's productive.
Well, I think in many scenarios, yes. But I don't think that you're interrupting me in similar senses when I'm like rattling on or repeating something or saying something irrelevant. Now, I'm just quickly going to repeat what I said.
Which I have not done any of that, so go ahead.
I'm going to repeat what I said, and I just want you to tell me what precisely in this statement is a misrepresentation of your view, okay? Is that fair?
I thought you just said we shouldn't be repeating things we've said over and over. And now you're going to repeat again of why I'm such a horrible person because it's the way in the context you are portraying my character.
Okay, well, this one thing...
It's not just
this one thing is necessary to repeat.
Access to abortions due to rape.
So I think that this is necessary to repeat so I can understand exactly like what I'm saying that is a misrepresentation of what you believe. Okay, so I'm going to repeat it. Okay, I said...
I'm trying to explain it to you.
Okay, Tay, why won't you just let me repeat it?
Because I know what you're doing here, and you're trying to portray me as an evil individual.
All right, Terry. And then I'm just going to drop that point. I mean, all that I was going to say was, hey, so I said that you think that if a woman is raped and impregnated, she should be denied access to abortion. Then I was going to ask you, what exactly did I say in that statement that you think is false, not an adequate representation of your view? And that was going to be it, right? And seemingly you don't want to have that conversation with me. I don't know why. You're kind of embarrassing yourself.
Okay, well then, I don't know what to tell you, Dean.
You could tell me what exactly, the way in which I represented your view that was false. Like, let's just go through it.
I would like you to
So
let
just to
me
clarify,
get my full...
if a woman is raped and impregnated, should she be able to go to a Planned Parenthood and abort that fetus? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, then I don't understand how I misrepresented your view.
So I already clarified this, so there's no reason to repeat it, right?
Can you clarify it again? Because I don't think I understand. You should repeat it for me. Obviously, I'm just not understanding you. You're significantly more intelligent.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, listen, we're not getting anywhere.
Because you're not telling me how I
Do you
misrepresented your
believe
view.
that life begins at conception?
Yeah, I do believe that life begins at conception. Now, how did I misrepresent your view?
Now, what is the definition of murder?
The murder would be the unjust termination of a human life.
Okay, so can we agree that abortion is murder?
No, because I don't think it's unjust.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Why do you believe it's unjust is not unjust?
Because I don't think that there's any reason why it would be. Like for a victim of rape, for instance, they were forced into engaging in sex, they were forced into pregnancy, then they were forced into providing their bodily resources without their consent nor their will to that fetus to sustain the life of the fetus. What obligation do they have to continue to be forced into providing those bodily resources to sustain the life of the fetus?
That's my point, because I don't think that by taking the innocent life of a human being, that's going to solve the trauma that this woman has went through.
Okay, so I don't think that anybody.
There's plenty.
I think that we can all agree that if a victim of rape gets an abortion, it won't reverse the rape. Okay, right? But the reason why I think that a rape victim should be able to get access to abortion is not because it will reverse the rape, but is rather because that victim of rape has no obligation to provide that fetus domicile in her uterus, nor her bodily resources to keep it alive. Can you tell me what that obligation would be? Why does she have that obligation?
Because it's an innocent human life. That is also half of her DNA.
Oh, wow. All right. So now you're just saying, well, she has that obligation to keep it alive because it's a human life. I don't think that's enough to build an obligation. Like, imagine this hypothetical, okay? Right?
Do you believe that we should protect children that... Okay, so...
All right. Can I ask you a question?
Aware... let me finish mine. Are you aware of how people can drop off babies at hospitals? Do you think we have an obligation to take care of those children?
Yeah, there'd be a social construct, thereby generate an obligation that if a baby is dropped off at a hospital, that therefore that hospital has to take care of that baby, because that is the message that the hospital is promoting to the individual dropping it off. Okay, that is an implicit social construct that would work in the same way that when you walk into a restaurant, you sit down at the table and you order dinner, that you have an implicit social contract to then pay for that food once you're done eating, because it's the expectation of the services provided.
Okay, so let's use a different context here. What if I'm going to have to use a hypothetical because of today's society.
Dude, you fucking suck. You're so weird.
What?
Yeah, you're weird, bro. Like saying that you have to think,
I'll end the conversation here because I'm not going to deal with the disrespect.
Okay,
you use your hypotheticals all the time, Dean. You use them all the time, but as soon as a Republican introduces
it was the comment
they're
because of today's society.
wrong.
It was the comment because of today's society. Go ahead and run your hypothetical. I apologize for saying that you're weird.
That wasn't because of... that's not what I meant, though. I just meant because of the social construct that we have.
Okay.
I didn't mean it because...
I just asked you a question.
So, do you think it would be wrong if hypothetically... there's like 3 people on the earth and someone hands me a baby and it didn't take any birthing process to get this child out. It's just a baby and somehow it's my DNA. Do you think it would be wrong to take that child's life?
So if somebody just hands you a newborn and then you stab it in the chest with a knife, would that be wrong?
Yes.
Yes, it's wrong to kill newborns by stabbing them in the chest, yes.
Okay, so why isn't it...
Jeez.
It's not making any sense to me why you don't get what I'm saying.
Wait, I just answered your question. That means I'm obviously understanding what you're asking of me in order to get the answer.
It was the laughing under your breath or whatever you just did that I don't understand what you're not
Yeah,
doing.
I laughed under my breath
wrong
because
to
like it's
take a
like
human
it's
life.
like obvious. It's like obviously wrong to like stab a newborn to death.
Right, and it's wrong to take a human life no matter how that child got there.
No, I don't think it's always wrong to take a human life. I think that there's many scenarios where we're completely okay with it, like morally and socially speaking. A really good example of this would be like brain dead patients. Okay, doctors take the lives of brain dead patients when they take them off of life support. We don't deem that as wrong. A woman with an IUD, that IUD can kill zygotes, unicellular human organisms. We don't view that as murder. So, I mean, I think that these examples and more refute the idea that it is our DNA and that makes us morally valuable, or it is our species that makes us morally valuable. And if it's not our DNA nor our species that makes us morally valuable, then what trait could it possibly be? I would say that trait would be a level of subjective experiences and or consciousness that makes us morally valuable. That is what makes us significant, okay? And a fetus doesn't have the ability to deploy any level of subjective experiences until the 24-week part. Yeah, but they will the same way. When I was 15, I would have been 21 in the future. Does that mean I should get the right to buy alcohol now? No, I'd have to actually wait to be 21 first. The same way I think that a fetus has to actually wait to be 20 through 24 weeks old first until they gain right to life or moral value, predicated on the fact that is when that fetus gains the ability to deploy any level of subjective experiences.
But that's completely and utterly not the same, because if I told you that my 18-month-old child right now cannot do certain things that perhaps a 5-year-old child can do, does that make him less valuable? Because he can't have the same subjective experience as a 5-year-old?
No, because I don't think that value would be like given to a human predicated on their gradual level of subjective experiences, but rather on the presence of the mind and the ability to deploy them.
I think what I'm trying to ask you here is, why is it okay to end the life of... So I have to understand this first.
I'm being so kind to this guest. I'm just rolling with the shots. See, like usually I like to try to guide the conversation so we could like have a little bit more of a cohesive, proper conversation. I'm just totally giving that the ability to the guests right now, and they're fucking fumbling it. But go ahead.
Okay, then I'll get off of here, Dean, because I'm not going to deal with the disrespect.
Ma'am, I mean, listen.
I don't think it's very productive.
Ma'am, if you can't deal with the facts, then feel free to run away. I mean,
I'm not running away. I just don't tolerate someone that claims to be so against sexists and misogynistic men. But you're doing this exact same thing to me right now, being a male, speaking over a female, acting like just because you do this every single day that... Yeah. You're so much smarter than I am, and that you can pretty much be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form you see fit. Okay. And I'm just not going to deal with it, especially not to make you money.
So, I'm not ridiculing you because you're a woman, right? I'm ridiculing you because you think that victims of rape should be forced into 9 months of bodily mutilation and torture, both physically and mentally speaking, with no good reason whatsoever. And when
do you not agree that they're going to suffer for the rest of their life? Do you understand what these women go through?
Thank you so much for interrupting me. What's your point that you'd like to make?
Are these women not going to struggle with this for the rest of their life?
So, yeah, victims of rape can struggle with that for the rest of their lives. What does this change about my argument insofar as why I think that they should be able to access abortion?
These women are going to inherently struggle for the rest of their life and go through mental illness. And there are studies that you can research that show that women who have abortions end up having regret later in the future, and depression and anxiety.
So there's a very low level of regret
versus women who didn't.
There's a low level of regret associated with getting abortions. Not many women experience it, but a low level does. The most regretted elective surgery typically is, believe it or not, hip surgery. 28% of individuals that get elective hip surgery end up regretting it and then having an onset post-operative depression inside of their life. So, I mean, if you think that we should ban abortion because of a low level of regret and or onset of depression because of it, does this mean that you also think that we should ban elective hip surgery?
Elective hip surgery is not taking the life of an individual.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with the regret rate, and in your mind only has to do with the taking the life of the fetus.
And that was
but I've already given you a reason why taking the
way.
life of the fetus. No, it's not. 28% of individuals that get hip surgeries end up having depression because of it. That's a fact.
No, I'm not talking about the hip surgery. I'm talking about the statement you made about women not having regret, or it's such a low level. No, it's extremely and extraordinarily high, actually.
What is it? No fucking clue. No
I'll
fucking
look
clue.
it up. I'll
Okay.
look it up, and I will
Jeez.
show you right now. And I'll give you the
Wait.
source.
If you knew that it was extraordinarily high, wouldn't that like imply that you've
Because
already
I've
looked
seen
it up?
it before. I've done this probably in freaking high school. I've written countless papers on abortion.
Okay, yeah, feel free to go look it up.
Okay.
Awesome. While she's looking that up super duper quickly, John, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Thank you for the love, John. Let's get 500 John W's down below in that chat. That is Jon. John with a $50 says, being pro-life, especially in instances of rape, just means that you see women as nothing more than incubators. The fact that this woman holds this belief is just mind-boggling. Glad I found your streams and your clips. Well, John, I absolutely agree with you. I legitimately think that holding to the belief that women who are raped should be denied access to abortion is one of the most like morally depraved like things that Americans think today. It is just so sick, it is so dark, it is so twisted. Okay, listen here. There's absolutely no obligation or duty of care that a victim of rape would ever conceivably have to allow her bodily resources to sustain the life of the fetus, okay? This is like the hypothetical that I imply often is you spend your money on food and somebody breaks into your house in the middle of the night to take half of it away from you. They're gonna do this for 9 months. Can you lock your front door at night and prevent them from stealing your food, even if they die from starvation as a result? The answer is yes, because you have no obligation to provide them your resources, even if they die. And I view that fact to also be true for women as it relates to pregnancy and fetuses, especially in the circumstance of a woman that was raped. There's no argument that an obligation could ever possibly exist. So John, you're fucking on the facts. Let's show some love to John down below in that chat for the $50. While she's still looking for that source, I also want y'all to show some love to Peter for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Holy fucking shit. Let's get 500 John W's. Let's also get 1,000 Peter W's saying if Tay's 16-year-old daughter was raped and got pregnant, is she going to force her daughter to have that baby? Well, that's a question I'm going to have to ask Tay when she comes back. But seriously, Peter, it's good to see you again, my man. Thank you so much for your kindness. $100 is a shit ton of money, dude. Show some fucking love to John and Peter. Thank you so much. As well as Charlie. Thank you for the $25 over on Venmo who says, fuck Steve. Thank you for the love, Charlie. Show some love to Charlie. And then Bree with the $10 and Zuan with the 4. Thank you so much. And Colton, thank you so much for the $10. Colton, I'm going to keep your message to myself. I bet you could understand why, but thank you so much for your kindness. And then Mr. Jason, thank you so much for the $51 on Venmo. Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much, man. Jason with a 50 says, thank you for doing all that you do to defend the LGBTQ plus IA community. We're about to lose marriage rights and my heart is breaking. Yeah, man, I'm going to be talking a lot about that come November 7th. You're going to be hearing a lot about that from me. I'm just waiting to see, what the expected outcome is going to look like and how they inevitably rule. But that is just I'm so disappointed that SCOTUS is even possibly adjudicating that. Thank you for the $51, Jason. And then Reese, thank you so much for the $15. Maddie, Mama Peach, thank you so much for the $20. And yes, I'll check Discord. Thank you so much, Mama Peach. Show some love to Mama Peach for the $20. As well as, let's see here, Lars, thank you so much for the $5, and Catherine with 5. You guys are awesome. We are all caught up over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, y'all. As well as over on Venmo, Hunter, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Let's show some love to Hunter down below, saying, love what you do, and would love to pay you regularly for coaching through text on how to be a good debater. Well, I don't offer those services currently, but Hunter, thank you so much for the $50. Appreciate that, man. That is very kind of you. As well as Anthony, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Anna, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal. Show some love to Anna. Anna says, thank you for always standing up for victims of rape / sexual assault. You make a difference. Listen, I honestly think that we are making a difference here. Like right now we have over 20,000 people tuned into the live, right? Listening to like really good reason why we shouldn't ban rape victims' access to abortion. I think that's meaningful. Thank you so much for the $25, Anna. And then Kareem, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Kareem, saying keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Kareem. Show some love to Kareem. And then Jack, thank you for the 5. Haley, thank you for the 10. Tegan and Matthew with a 5, and Diana with a 5. Appreciate you guys so much for the love. We are all caught up at this point. It has now been maybe around a minute since we last spoke to this guest, Miss Tay. Miss Tay, were you able to find a source for your claim? Thank you guys. Show some love to all of our donors down below. Seriously, I really appreciate that.
Yes, so if you go to goodhealthpsych.com, it says that 81% of women who have abortions are most likely to have mental health issues after doing so. 37% are most likely to have
81?
Depression. 81% of women who have abortions are most likely to deal with mental health issues after doing so. This is from goodhealthpsych.com.
Is this okay? So this used to come up a lot in abortion debates, and I'm pretty sure if I'm thinking of the right study here, right, it was done by anonymously asking women in a church if they have gotten an abortion before. How do they feel about it now? And it was done on like 20 people. We don't even know if they were women.
So
Nobody would
you're
know if they've
going by
actually got
what you
abortions.
think. If this is the one that I thought of that I saw way back when, how are you going to claim that to be true? You
Well,
have
listen,
no
Tay,
factual
Tay,
information
you're
about
not-
that statement.
You're not letting me finish speaking here.
Because you're making a false claim.
You haven't even finished my claim.
I haven't finished your claim.
No, I said I haven't finished my claim. Just hold on. Hold your horses. Let me finish talking. We could do this a little bit more casual and chill, okay? It's okay. Just calm down,
Okay.
all right? Thank you. All right, so anyways, now to go back to what I was saying, right? So, I mean, that was, something that came up a lot way back when these abortion debates were super prevalent. I wonder if this is what the guest is sourcing. So, who did you say the publisher was?
I didn't give you a publisher. I just gave you the actual URL.
Okay.
Well, their website, rather.
So Good Health Psychology?
It's just goodhealthpsych.com.
Okay, Good Health Psych. And then where on Good Health Psych's website can I find this publishment?
Let me see. So this is under the article of identifying and managing depression after abortion.
Identifying and managing depression after abortion. Identifying and managing depression after abortion. Okay. Well, no fucking joke. No troll. No fucking troll. I clicked on their website and it said error establishing a database connection. Let's see if I just reload the page if it'll pop up. God. No, it's just not even popping up. Wait, I gotta screenshot this because you're gonna think that I'm trolling here.
I'm not. I know that happens.
You're gonna think that I'm trolling here. All right, let me screenshot it.
I'm
real quick.
not. No, I believe you.
Wait. Let me just pull this up real quick. Look at this. Okay, so now I got to see if this is a local error or like a global error. I got to see if this is an issue with like my connection to the website or an issue with the servers that the website is being ran on. Can we have like a couple people watching like go and like look this up on your end on your phone, your computer?
They're in the chat.
So mine does it too. It did it to me. Okay, there's multiple. Mine does it too. I've checked. This happened to mine. I got it too. Mine is doing it. We did. Mine does. It did it to mine too. Okay, guess what? You actually picked the wrong fucking person to try to make this point to, because before I started doing these debates full time, I was a professional full stack web developer. So because more people than just myself are getting this issue saying error establishing a database connection, what this means is that it's not a local issue with my computer, but rather a global issue with the servers running this website. And it's not like the servers stopped running this website, right? The moment you told me what the source was to look at it, that means that the site is down. So you just told me that you went on pause and you tried to find this source. You lied out of your goddamn ass.
I did not.
Because the site
what are
is
you
down.
Talking about? Look at all the people in the chat confirming that they saw. Actually, they were correcting me because they saw that it said 34%. There's no need for me to come up here and lie, Dean. And you're not going to perpetuate me as some type of liar.
I'm so sorry, but just the evidence that you're lying is the fact that the website wasn't.
I am not lying whatsoever. I will send you a DM of the screenshot.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Maybe.
I don't think that's very productive to call me a liar. I have the freaking article.
Maybe. How about this? I'm going to extend you an olive branch here. Okay. It is very possible, as an alternative as well, that maybe just when you said that, a bunch of people went to it and they just can't handle that traffic because this is some small blog and it went down because of the traffic. Okay. All right. I will extend that to you. I'm going to try to be good faith here. All right. I'm still not getting it though, so you're going to have to find another source.
I can go find you another source.
Perfect.
I can find you plenty of sources.
Perfect. Okay. You know what? I'll trust her. Maybe it's just an issue of a bunch of people going to it at once and them just not having the bandwidth to handle that like level of that level of traffic. Well, I'll be nice. I'll give it to her. And I also just don't understand. So while she's looking for the source, I just kind of want to go over my thoughts on this. So like point number one, there's like a lot of elective procedures that have like a very high regret and or post-operative depression rate, like very high. Like I said, hip surgery, it's near 30, right? Now, even if it was the case that abortion had a high regret and like or depression onset rate following it, well, point number one, right? Birth has a higher depression rate following it. That's why we literally have the word, what is it? What is it called? Like, what is the very specific phrase / word to refer to depression following birth? I want to say postmortem, but I don't know if that's right. Is it postmortem depression? I don't know. That just doesn't sound right. PPD. PPD. Is that it? Postpartum. There we go. Okay. I was going to say postmortem. No. Postpartum depression, right? So many women experience depression following birth, okay, that we literally have a phrase for it. Postpartum depression. All right? And it is a fact that yes, okay, maybe some women will experience regret and or depression following an abortion, but an astronomically higher amount of women would experience that following birth. So much so that we literally have a phrase to refer to it as PPD. Does this mean that the guest, therefore, also thinks that birth should be banned? Taylor?
No, because I don't think that you should.
So then you don't think that we should ban things based upon a perceived potential outcome
So there's no
of a
reason
level
for
of
me to
depression?
find these sources for you, because whether I do or not, or whether you claim that I'm lying and making it up or not, you're going to come back with, oh, well, we have depression after birth, and that is why it's okay to have an abortion, because everybody gets depressed after certain things, procedures.
Well, I mean, actually, yeah, that would be a logical issue within your perspective. You can't argue that abortion should be banned because there's some level of depression onset by it following the fact, but then argue in the same breath that other things such as birth, elective surgery, including hip surgery, so on and so forth, shouldn't be banned.
You can go to
even though they have a higher...
UCSF.edu, it's 44%.
Tay, don't interrupt me. That is the last time I'm going to allow you to interrupt me. You've been interrupting me every single time I've been speaking, and I want that to stop.
You've done the same thing to me.
I don't believe I have, Tay, but could you please let me finish speaking now?
You can rewatch the live and you can see that
Tay,
you have.
could you just like stop it? Could you just let me finish my statement? Thank you. I really appreciate it, Tay. So anyways, yes, no, it is actually contradictory to say that this thing, abortion, should be banned because of some level of regret and or depression onset by that abortion, but then in the same breath argue that other things with higher levels of onset depression following it occurring shouldn't be banned, such as birth or like elective surgeries, including hip surgeries. And by the way, right, while you were looking for your source, I actually found one myself. Okay, so this is coming from the Journal of the American Medical Association. The American Medical Association is the most reputable medical institution in this country, okay? So 2 years post-abortion, 72% of 418 women were satisfied with their decision. 306 of them, or 69% of them, said that they would have the abortion again, and 315 of them said that they reported more benefit than harm from their abortion, all right? So, I mean, not only was I able to logically dispute your argument because you're not willing to argue that other things that also onset depression at higher levels should be banned, but also seemingly, right, according to the American Medical Association, right, this is something that we only see in a minority of cases. And shout out to you, Marilyn.
Okay, well then I can come back and say...
Oh, and then Marilyn also, sorry, one more point here. Marilyn just sent $20 over on YouTube. Thank you for the love, Marilyn. Marilyn says, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. It's because of a hormonal shift. Mental health history plays a role too. You know, that's actually a good point, okay, right? Like you have particular like hormones that are like change inside of your physiology like during pregnancy, right? And the same way when you give birth, those hormones reverse back. The same thing would occur with like a miscarriage and or an abortion. Oh my God, get fucking cooked. Thank you so much for the $20, Marilyn. Oh, and she's gone. Taylor hit the road running. We're going to move on to the next guest. Womp womp. Can't hang. Goodbye, Taylor. Thank you so much for the $20, Marilyn. And then B, thank you so much for the $10 as well over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, B. And then Marin, thank you for the $20 with those stats from the American Medical Association. You were fucking awesome. What's going on, KJ? Do you support Trump? KJ's not here, guys. Go to put a me with your age down below in that comment section if you'd like to come up here and have a conversation about why you're MAGA. I would love to have you up. I'd love to have a discussion, guys. Just make sure if you are in the queue that you are an American adult that is pro-Trump, y'all. Please, 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 please follow those rules, everyone. Follow those rules. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Danny?
Hello.
Hello, Danny.
I was not expecting you to accept so quick.
No worries. Do you support Trump?
I personally do not, but I had something to say about what Tay said.
I'm sorry, Danny.
It bothered me a little bit.
I'm sorry, Danny. She said a lot of things that bother me too. I completely 100% understand. Right now, we are just looking for debates, but just know that you are not alone with being bothered by the crazy shit that last guest was saying. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Show some love to Danny down below in that comment section. Okay, just know that many individuals were bothered by that blatant fucking nonsense. And shout out to you. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here right now, y'all. We got that next Trump supporter connecting to the stream right now. Folks, go ahead and let me know if you are MAGA down below in that comment section. And while you're hanging out with us here, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a follow. We do these debates every single day, and if you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pin message on that stream over on YouTube. But we're going to go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box right now, folks. We got Andrea loading in. Well, I mean, I'm trying to load Andrea in, but the queue just keeps on moving every 2 fucking seconds. Dude, there's very specific people in the queue that I want to be able to bring up onto the stream to have a conversation with, but it is nearly goddamn impossible to identify them and to bring them up because of how fast the queue is shifting around. Okay, next guest, Isabella is loading in. Hello, Isabella. Do you support Trump? Isabella, you're connected. All right, Isabella's just simply not here. All right, guys. Yeah, guys, we have close to 19,000 people hanging out with us in the stream for the day. For whatever goddamn reason, we can't find one person to come up here and have a conversation with us. What is going on? How are we doing, Madison? Are you MAGA? Okay, Madison's gone. Darius Taylor, are you MAGA?
Oh, fuck me, Daddy Dean.
I'm going to go to take that as a resounding strong no. You have a good rest of your day. Moving on to the next guest. We got Thad connecting into the stream, folks. I don't know where all the Trump supporters went. How can we have so many people loaded into the stream without a single debate? Thad, what the hell's good? Do you support Trump?
Heck yeah, I do, dog.
How old are you, dog?
I'm 18, brother.
What year were you born in, little bro?
What year? 2007.
What month?
What month? May.
Yeah. Why do you support the worst president of your 18 years of life, Mr. Trump? The whole...
Well, I think he should have a third term.
Hey, buddy, do you know what the 22nd Amendment is?
Well, if we would just get rid of it and give Trump another term...
Get rid of the Constitution?
Yes.
You know who else wanted to do that?
And make the Trumpstitution.
You know the other people that wanted to do that were the people that we killed in the Revolutionary War, right?
The Trump... No. It's the leftist mind is what's feeding you.
Wait, so core American values are leftists?
Yeah, we need an emperor. We need Trump.
Okay, how did emperors work out for the Roman Empire?
I mean, they lasted a while.
Well, yeah, and they fell. What about the Byzantine Empire?
Byzantine? Dude, that's so mad.
And they fell.
You're leftist.
Yeah. History's leftist, buddy. No, I get it. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. I think that they were trolling. We got Kaylee loading up into the box, y'all. We got Kaylee loading up into the box. While we get Kaylee loading in, Kara, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love. That is Kara. Show some love to Kara down below. Kara says, love watching your debates. Thank you so much for your kindness. And then Hannah, thank you so much for the with the $20 as well. You are awesome. Show some love to Kara and Hannah down below while we are looking for that very next Trump supporter to load up here and have a convo. Hannah with the $20 says there's also a disorder after pregnancy called postpartum psychosis, which is severely dangerous for both mom and baby. Yeah, I've heard about that too. Thank you so much for the love, Hannah.
Hi.
Appreciate you. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
Yeah. And do you support Trump?
Indeed, I do.
Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. Quite frankly, why?
Because, you know what's my biggest fear in the whole entire world? The core American values of Christianity going down. That's precisely my biggest fear. And I think the Republican Party is mostly Christian oriented. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if your biggest fear is the collapse of Christian values in America, then your biggest fear would be Trump as president, as he is actively eroding and attacking many values found within the scripture, the Christian Bible. And it's not like this is a gotcha nor a surprise. He is literally an adjudicated rapist that went on Howard Stern's radio show, openly boasted about sexually exploiting little kids and women, turned around, hit on his own daughter, cheated on all 3 of his wives, sexualized a 10-year-old, and was best buddies with Epstein. Okay, right? So not only is his character, right, that antithetical to the values described in the gospel, unless you think that the gospel is perverted, right? But then his policy, on the other hand, we read in Psalms, right, give glory to the lesser among you and you will be given glory in the kingdom of heaven. Or in Matthew 15:5, where, you know, where it is said, but the way that you treat the lesser among you is the way that you're treating the Lord your God. And then we have Donald Trump taking healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans, and now taking food stamps away from 41 million Americans, even though he had 3 ways to prevent that, by ending the shutdown, by allotting emergency funding, or by giving states the promise that he'd reimburse them for covering it once the shutdown is over. And instead, he just said, no, these people are going to starve, and then he blamed it on the Democrats, okay? The downfall of true Christian values rooted within the scripture, of egalitarianism, love for thy neighbor, and a helping hand for low-income constituents of America, right, are being attacked and shot down and destroyed by the Trump administration.
I wouldn't say, like, I kind of have to support him because he's the face of the Republican Party. I think most of the things, I don't believe it till he's, I think, if he's actually, like, liable, like, as a criminal, then I would accept that. I think saying, like, oh, yes, I did that, it can go in different ways. I feel like...
Wait, so you'd stop supporting him as president if he was, like, an adjudicated criminal?
But he's not. There's no...
Yeah, listen, I know that he's not. He's not a criminal, but if he was, would he still be MAGA?
But he's not.
I said if he was.
That's a hypothetical situation. You can say that with Biden. Would you still be a liberal if Biden...
Listen, congratulations. It is a hypothetical. So if he was a criminal, would you still support him as president?
If it comes to that, I can't imagine it because it's not an actual thing. But I just want to...
Come on. We used hypotheticals in 3rd grade.
No.
3rd grade math class. 3rd grade math class. Listen, 3rd grade math class, okay? You remember the whole, right, if you made 3 apples per year, kept 2 and sold 1, how many apples would you have and how many would you have sold in 10 years from now? That's a hypothetical, okay? When you're telling me that you can't imagine a hypothetical, you're telling me you can't operate at a sufficient level of critical thought that 3rd graders are expected to in order to pass math, okay? Right? So I'm just going to ask the question one last time. I expect an answer, right? If Donald Trump was a criminal, right? If he was convicted of like felonies or something in a criminal court, which he hasn't, by the way, he's a good guy. Anybody who says otherwise is a leftist, propagandistic communist, okay? But if he was, would you still support him as president? Okay, for all the communists in the chat saying that he is, shut up, you're wrong, okay? Just be quiet, okay? You crazy liberals. Would you still support him as president if he was a criminal?
If he believes in Jesus, no. No, I wouldn't. No, if he... I think Jesus takes...
So what if he didn't? So what if he wasn't a Christian and he was a criminal?
If he was, no.
Oh, so you'd stop supporting him then?
No. If he's not a Christian, that's his own belief. I think God gave us free will, and
just give me a clear answer. I'm sorry, I'm getting fed up. If he was a criminal and he wasn't a Christian, then would you still support him as president?
If he was a criminal by the court of law, recognized criminal, not civilly but criminally viable, I would not support him. No.
Can you read this?
Trump guilty on all accounts in New York criminal trial.
And who published this?
Fox News. That's just fake news. Like, you know how easy it is with AI to edit? I don't.
Ma'am, you could go Google this right now. This is real. Yeah.
Can you but this is an image, so I don't know.
It's an image of an article that you could find on the internet, literally right now.
But like, why are you even listening to like? I listen to Independent.
How about what if we just show you the court files? So here's actually the verdict form from the jury. here's a verdict form from the jury.
He's guilty, but he's not convicted.
No, this is the conviction.
But he's not. Is he in prison? No.
Okay.
So
this doesn't
that's
change
what I
the fact
mean.
that he's a convicted criminal. Here's the conviction form.
I'm not really a lawyer, so I can't like decipher this. Like,
stop playing dumb. Stop playing dumb. It just says the count. It just says the count for the crime, and then it says guilty or not guilty. Okay, a literal like 3-year-old. Okay, they selected guilty. They did not select not guilty. You don't need to be a lawyer in order to read this.
Guilty. Yeah, but like you kind of, he has like
do you think that this maybe is fake?
I have to look into it, Dean. I have to look into it.
How about this? Could you read us this URL? Could you read that URL?
Wait, let me get my glasses.
Don't worry, I'll read it for you. nycourts.gov. Damn.
But I don't really trust. Like I trust.
Damn.
You know.
Damn,
but like, no, you know how they say.
Listen, I've had somebody a whole lot like you join this live before, and they denied that Trump was a criminal, and then I spent the next hour of my life pulling and ripping my hair out. Okay, right, like fucking wanting to throw up all over this desk and bash my head into it, trying to find the most reputable sources to prove it. And in the process, let me just like run you through everything that I have here. In the process, I got a screenshot of the verdict form from the criminal court, straight from nycourts.gov. Okay, I got one moment. Don't stop talking. I'm speaking. You're listening. I also have a screenshot of the full verdict form straight from nycourts.gov. I had the headline from Fox News that I already showed you. I think that I also have a headline from NPR here. Let's see what else I just have like preloaded in my images.
Yeah.
I have this headline from AP here. What else do I have like loaded up in my images? So far we have AP, NPR, Fox News, the verdict form straight from the nycourts.gov website. Oh, as well as here's like straight from the Manhattan DA's website. DA Bragg announces 34-count felony trial convicted felon conviction of Donald J. Trump. So by the way, if you deny it at this point, you are just not worth my time. Not at all.
Okay, after seeing multiples, I probably have to look into it just to fact check it. No, like I just want to see like the sources. I think now seeing this, I'm a bit shooken up because I
No, go on pause. Go. Hey, stupid person. Go on pause and look it up right now. Then come back.
I'm trying to get educated here, and you're just. I don't like this hostility.
I'm sorry. I do mean what I said. It shouldn't be hostile to call you stupid. It should be an eye opener for you.
But like Dean,
calling you stupid is like calling the sky blue.
Dean, I don't get why you're so harsh on me. Like I'm trying. Like I didn't know.
Sometimes the facts aren't easy. Sometimes they're not. They don't always put a smile on your face.
I don't know how to. Do I think he's a criminal now? Yeah, probably now. I just don't. I don't think that would make maybe he's being president. He kind of dodges like loads of things. I'm kind of a person who kind of sees like sourcibly, but like with stuff like with the Constitution, him doing the third term, I think he could.
Just yap. I'm sorry that I'm being a little bit.
No, he could run a third term. Wait. He could run the third term, but it's so hard to change the Constitution. The amendments, it's so hard. Like in other countries, let's take for example, like Ireland. It is so easy to amend the Constitution. There's 32 amendments, but there's only like two amendments in the actual Constitution.
Please stop doing the weave. Okay. Do you agree that he's a criminal?
By Jesus, no, but real life, yeah.
By Jesus?
Yeah.
By Jesus?
No, because
by Jesus?
I don't think he's like a criminal. Like he's probably by.
What the fuck do you mean by Jesus?
Sorry, I just can't. Sorry,
Are you
not
trolling?
thinking that Jesus is
Are you
them
trolling?
taking your
I'm
sin.
so sorry.
No,
are
I'm
you
not
trolling.
No, I'm just because like you just kept laughing Jesus, and I'm just like it's not that funny. But being serious here. I think I don't know if he's very honest with not be feeling like he will go to heaven, but I think
because he's not a Christian.
Him taking your sin, I think he could go to heaven, but he doesn't really believe in like properly like Jesus. Like I think by Jesus,
I'm so sorry. Hey, you are fucking yapping.
Well, I'm just saying Jesus as in like Jesus sees us all as equal. Like we do, he's done wrong.
So
I've done
maybe
wrong.
Jesus has forgiven like Trump for his wrongdoings?
Yeah, Jesus forgives everybody. Trust me.
Hey, in order to be forgiven by Jesus, do you need to ask for forgiveness first?
No, you're not. I'm just saying.
Hey, in order to be forgiven by Jesus, do you need to ask for forgiveness first?
No, you just.
For Jesus to forgive your sin.
Yes.
Unbelievable. And what he would do is he'd bring real life situations, modern day situations into the sermon. And you could listen to him all day long. When you left the church, you were disappointed that it was over. He was the greatest guy. And then, he passed away, but he was a great... He wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, which is a great book.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
I'm not sure I have. I just try to do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right.
So actually, no, God has not forgiven Trump for his sins because Trump has never asked God to forgive him for his sins. To hell he goes.
I mean, there's always a time and place to ask for forgiveness, Dan. There's always a time and a place.
Magic 8 Ball, what the hell are you saying?
As in, like he said, he hasn't asked yet. Like, I don't think I have, which can insinuate that he hasn't asked yet. Like, I haven't been a Christian for my whole life.
I'm kicking you. We're going to move on to the next guest. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. I'm torturing myself today with these people. This is terrible. I mean, this is like truly a tragedy. This is truly a tragedy, folks. Faith, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for that love, Faith. Let's go to show some love to Faith down below for the $50 over on PayPal while we're looking to get this next guest loaded up in. Faith, that is so incredibly kind of you. Show some fucking love to Faith down below in that comment section. Faith with the $50, I think, was talking to the guest before that one, the last lady, Taylor. Faith with the $50 says, to Taylor, to this dense, repulsive fucking guest, I was raped at the age of 17 and I got pregnant by somebody else 30 years my senior. I could assure you that getting an abortion caused me way less suffering and trauma than raising my rapist's baby would have. You are truly fucking dense. Tay, I hope you're still in here so you could hear that. Faith, I'm really sorry to hear that has happened to you. And thank you so much for the $50. Please, chat, please show some love to Faith. Thank you for your kindness. What is going on, Kaylee? Do you support Trump?
I do.
How old are you?
19.
19? Okay. All right, Faith. Sorry, not Faith, Kaylee. I'm going to go to pass you the mic so you can tell us why. Before I do, I just want to thank a couple people here real quick. Amanda, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Amanda. Let's go to show some love to Amanda down below. Amanda says, kids that are born from grape are legally considered victims at birth in some countries. See Daisy's Law, and they're highly more likely to be born with physical and mental issues like PTSD and more likely to be abused. They don't live normal lives. Thank you so much for your input, and I appreciate you for the $20, Amanda, as well as McKenna. Thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Let's show some love to McKenna as well. McKenna with the $25 is now saying this about the last guest that we just spoke to, saying please kick her. She might be the most uneducated person I've ever seen on your streams, and you should definitely look in. She should definitely look into. I'm not going to read off that last part, but thank you so much for the $25, McKenna. Show some love to McKenna down below. Thank you so much for the love, as well as Markella. Thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Venmo. Ivy, thank you for the 2. Fernanda, thank you for the 5. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Katie. Thank you so much for the 5. Brenna with a 5. Tessa with a 5. And Daniela with a 5. Thank you guys so much. Then Lexi with a 3. And Devin with a 5. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. As well as Luca. Thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo, who says, "Go, white boy, go." As well as the messages attached to the Venmo. Devin with a 5. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. As well as Luca. Thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo, who says, "Go, white boy, go." As well as the messages, as well as who says, Matthew with the Stern Show comments. I appreciate you so much for the $10. And you're right, that does not compute. Definitely not a Christian, Donald Trump is. Go ahead and take it away. Do you support Trump? Actually, you already said yes. Are you, let me ask you this question. What year are you born in?
2006, January 9th.
Okay, yeah, I believe you. I believe you for now. Do you promise that you're telling us the truth?
I do. Would you like to see my license? I won't show you the whole thing, but my birth date.
Nah, I'll trust it. I'll trust it for now. I'll trust it for now. But you do have a driver's license. So do you drive?
I do.
When you're driving on a road and there's a dotted yellow line next to a solid yellow line, and you're on the side with a dotted yellow line, what does that mean for you?
That means you can go into like the middle lane, the passing lane, but if it's not like just a solid, if it's not a dotted line and there is a yellow line, you can't pass.
You know what? I don't know. It close enough. I'm going to trust you. Are you Mormon?
I'm not.
Trump supporter from Utah. Surprised you're not Mormon. Take it away. Tell us why you're MAGA.
I've just always been raised Republican, and I feel like my views go specifically Republican, if that makes sense. It's not necessarily just Donald Trump that I support. It's just more of the Republican Party, but I did vote for him.
Okay. So you're just saying that you support Trump because you're raised into those beliefs. Now, obviously, being like conditioned into thinking something is true isn't a compelling reason for it to actually be true. So do you have like any like good reasons why you support him as president? Any good reasons why he's good for this country?
I just support like gun laws and damn, I blanked, sorry.
You support gun laws? So you're like pro 2A?
Yeah.
Okay. Donald Trump is anti-2A. He directed his Justice Department to find a way to ban any and all gun ownership for law-abiding trans American citizens. That is so antithetical to the nature of the Second Amendment that even the far-right NRA spoke out against the Trump administration for attempting to do so. He has launched an attack on the Second Amendment. If you are pro-2A, then you should not support Trump as president.
Wait, hold on, sorry. Are you saying that he tried to ban them specifically for transgenders?
Yeah, for transgender individuals, yes. He tried to find a way, right? Expressly in violation of the Second Amendment.
That I've never seen anything on, so I'd have to look into that. But on his one interview, I don't know which interview, so I'd have to find that. But on one of his interviews, he did say that he was pro-guns and he does own a gun.
He also said he was pro-Constitution and infringed on the 1st, 2nd, 14th, and 22nd. He said he was pro-America and is now refusing to fund food stamps for 41 million Americans. He said that he was pro-H-1B visas and is now charging companies $100,000 for one per year. He said that he was pro-fiscal conservatism, then passed the most expensive bill in American history. He said he was pro-free speech, right, pro the First Amendment, then infringed on the First Amendment, tried to find a way to ban the burning of the American flag, said, quote unquote, "We're taking your free speech away," and said that it is now illegal to criticize him in the media. He also said that he's pro-law and order, then committed 34 felonies and raped E.G. Carroll. He also said that he's pro the safety of children, but then boasted about exploiting children sexually so in an unconsensual way at Miss Teen USA to Howard Stern. I don't really think that his words are too meaningful, and we should rather just simply evaluate his actions.
I'd have to look into that First Amendment thing, because as far as I'm concerned, he's not the one that's ever tried to ban the First Amendment or supported burning the American flag, because that I don't agree with at all. So I guess I just have to look more into that.
Well, I mean, listen, you could say that it's anti-American to burn the American flag. That debate's not even relevant because it's obviously more so anti-American to infringe on the Constitution to attempt to ban the burning of the American flag. Like, for instance, I disagree with disseminating misinformation, but if I was president, I wouldn't criminalize disseminating misinformation because it'd be antithetical to the nature of our First Amendment rights.
I agree. I think that he is a good president because of his, when was it? I think it was 2022, I want to say, or 2020. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But
just tell me what he did and I can tell you what year, most likely.
He helped so many Americans get jobs, and the unemployment rate was very low.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be talking about during his first term. I think you're probably talking about some point in like April of 2019 when we had a 50-year record low level of unemployment. My response to that is we actually had two 50-year lows lower than that, which it was in April of 2019 under the Biden-Harris administration. And my second point would be, well, you can't just like basically like blame anything that happens in the country on the president unless you could tell us what the president did to cause it, right? For the same reason that you can't just baselessly say Donald Trump caused that low level of unemployment because it happened when he was president, I can't baselessly say that Donald Trump caused the pandemic because it happened when he was president.
Right. Sorry, give me a question. I can answer it, but I don't.
Okay, do you think that Donald Trump cares about low-income Americans?
I would say yes.
What's one thing Donald Trump has ever done for low-income Americans?
Not making free like healthcare, honestly. Me personally being like a lower middle class, getting free healthcare would screw me, but that's just because of
why?
It's not free, it's taxes. It would make taxes go up higher because nothing is free. If it's considered free, it's because taxpayers, which I am, are paying higher taxes to make it free.
Okay, well, Donald Trump took healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans and increased your taxes in the big, beautiful bill. And second of all, yes, we understand that taxes pay for social programs, but I prefer my taxes to go towards saving lives through Medicaid than taking lives through missiles given to Israel and then dropped on innocent Palestinians. I think the very best use and function of the tax dollars in which I pay would be to materially benefit the lives of other human beings like me, okay? But instead, now what we see is the Trump administration is doing the largest redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich in modern American history, reverse Robin Hood, okay, by effectively reducing the purchasing power of 156 million Americans, making at or under $51,000 per year, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, while increasing the purchasing power and cutting the taxes for the richest among us by various percentages. Now, the average American, let me ask you a question. How much do you think the average American pays into food stamps per year?
I have no idea.
$36. And you're complaining about that? Why don't you go complain about the $700 that the average American pays into corporate subsidies just to put more money back into the pockets of billionaires every year?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I honestly only wanted to come up here because I had something that I wanted to say about one of like your previous debates, but because you had asked a question and the girl did not know how to answer it, and then I looked into it and I was not right. It was propaganda, so my bad.
Is there any other like thing that you want to go over here with me insofar as like why you're MAGA, why you support Trump as president?
No, not really.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, listen, you have a good rest of your day, and if you end up having an argument, feel free to re-request, Kaylee.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you take care. Welcome in, KJ. Do you support Trump? KJ.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I support President Trump. Me tell you why or not?
No, feel free. Can we, like, listen to that video real quick? Is that okay?
Yeah, what video? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me pull it up here real quick. It's an interesting video on your page. Kyler S. Johnson is your TikTok. I'm just pulling it up on my computer. Let's go ahead and listen to Kyler's video titled "This Proves Trump is Not Racist."
I'm going to read off some of the stuff President Trump has done for black people. A lot of y'all call
Okay, I'm just going to pause it real quick. So in the video, you're holding up like a microphone to your face.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that the mic is not connected to your phone in the video. But just, anyways.
I'm racist, but I have no facts to back it up.
Yeah, that's your phone mic. That's not the microphone you're holding to your face. But anyways, let's play the video.
He's done so much for black people, I can't even memorize it. First thing we're going to talk about is First Step Act. Under the First Step Act,
Oh, tabbed out.
90% of the people that were released on the First Step Act were African Americans. The First Step Act shortened mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug crimes. The law allowed offenders sentenced under racially motivated mandatory minimums to petition for reevaluation. Let's not forget, the First Step Act was a complete reversal of Joe Biden's crime bill, which literally targeted black people. And Trump also signed a ban on federal chokeholds in non-life-threatening situations and created a national database for police misconduct. I ain't even know that. I just learned that just a second ago. President Trump prompted second chance hiring to give former inmates the opportunity to live crime-free lives and find meaningful employment. Now let's go over some of the money President Trump poured into the black community. The Trump administration provided more than $500 million in loans to HBCUs of the Capital Financing Program. President Trump worked with HBCUs to protect $80 million in Title III carryover funding. President Trump signed the Future Act into law, which permanently funds HBCUs and simplifies FAFSA application. This ain't even all. It's not even close. And this is the man y'all call racist? Come on, bro.
Yeah, that is the man I call.
All right, bro.
That is the man I call racist. I'm gonna respond to the reasons in the video. Then I just want to hear what your rebuttals are. You brought up, I think it was 3 or 4 points. The first point that you brought up was a First Step Act. Like refocusing on reform of our criminal justice system. You're saying that this disproportionately benefited African American individuals in jail. The second point that you brought up was. Well, the third point you brought up was funding to HBCUs. What was the second point that you brought up in that video? I tried to write them down, but I couldn't tab out.
The second point was goddamn
chokeholds in life-threatening situations and created a...
What was it?
Racially motivated mandatory minimum, something like that.
Oh, no, it was a national database on police misconduct. Okay, so you said that Donald Trump's not racist because of the First Step Act. You're saying that Donald Trump's not racist because of a database for police misconduct. And you're saying that Donald Trump is not racist because of funding to HBCUs that he made permanent through the Futures Act to fund them forever. Okay, in response to your first point about the First Step Act. So that was actually drafted and attempted to get passed under the Obama administration, but then the Republicans in Congress refused and failed to pass it until there was a Republican in office, since there's a high prospect of a Republican winning that 2016 election, which they did, and then they finally agreed to pass it. Now, Donald Trump, although he signed the First Step Act into law under his first administration, does not stand for the First Step Act, and in fact has now been violating the First Step Act under his second administration by advocating for giving the death penalty to DRUG dealers, okay, in direct violation of the First Step Act. Now, your second point was creating a national database for police misconduct. Okay, this is not something I'm personally familiar with ever hearing as something that Donald Trump did under his first administration. Assuming that it is something that he has done, and that is a fact, well, sir, look at all of the misconduct of ICE agents towards individuals on American streets that isn't just merely being ignored by the Trump administration.
That's false.
But
That's
emboldened and
false.
caused by the Trump administration.
That's false. That's false, and you know it's false.
So no misconduct.
It's
by
false.
ICE
ICE ain't doing nothing wrong to nobody. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and you know that.
Okay,
that's just another little Democratic little talking point that y'all gotta have.
So the 500.
The truth is,
so the 510 independent confirmed circumstances of human rights abuse on behest of ICE agents towards people in this country, as proven by the Senate, was just complete propagandistic bullshit. Or the multiple lawsuits alleged by various different women at a Louisiana ICE detention center towards the superintendent for literally raping them was complete bullshit. Or the reporting from the New York Times that there was naked children dragged out of their houses and thrown in the backs of U-Haul vans by ICE agents in Chicago.
From the New York Times, okay. You naming all of these sources that you naming all these sources that's not confirming none of this information, bro. New York Times, really? You really think I'm gonna listen to the New York Times, fam?
Well, it's
this is all just stories written by a bunch of people like you, fam. By the way,
I gave you the Senate report.
These are all stories written from people like you, fam.
Okay.
What makes you think we're gonna believe that? We got people that report stuff that we say too, bro.
What if a court?
What are you saying?
What if a court ruled this? Then would you believe it?
If a court ruled what?
If a court ruled misconduct by the Trump administration directed towards undocumented immigrants.
But from ICE? Are we talking about ICE or from Trump?
Well, I mean, ICE, who's operating under the Trump administration, then the Trump administration in themselves, which would be.
And no, I'm not all the way with that either, bro, because I'm not all the way with what the courts say either, bro, because they lie too. They've been exactly what they.
Wait,
they be trying to bash people. If conservatives too, like they did Trump in his case.
Okay, well, now we're talking about the Supreme Court that is 6-3 conservative leaning, and they're ruling on April 10th of this year when they adjudicated that the Trump administration had illegally deported Abrigo Garcia to Sica in El Salvador. But by the way, you are now saying, give me another 10 seconds. Give me another 10 seconds here. You're saying that you just simply don't trust the courts. Okay, so
we can talk about Kilmore. We can talk about Kilmore. Yeah, let's talk about Kilmore.
Can I finish my statement?
The MS-13 member?
Finish my statement?
Go ahead, bro.
So you said that you don't trust the courts. So if you don't trust the courts, then you very obviously don't trust nor support mass deportation, since because you find courts to be unreliable, you don't think that they'd be able to reliably dictate and rule who is and is not an undocumented immigrant for deportation, right?
No, that's you know what I'm saying, but it's cool. Let's talk about Kilmore.
Well, don't you find that to be a bit contradictory?
No, let's talk about Kilmore. Let's
address the contradiction.
No, let's talk about Kilmore.
Oh, you don't want to address the contradiction? You don't want to address the contradiction?
Let's talk about Kilmore.
Exactly.
Let's talk about Kilmore.
You're not going to address the contradiction, KJ. You can't address the fact that in one breath you're saying the courts are unreliable and you don't trust them, but in the next breath saying that you full-heartedly endorse the Trump administration trying to deport like 1 million undocumented immigrants in a year, relying on the
I support it. I support it as well.
Immigrants or not. But I thought that you didn't trust the courts and you didn't think that they're reliable. And if they're not reliable, then how could you trust that they're going to reliably dictate?
I didn't say that. I didn't say they were always unreliable. I didn't say that.
Oh, they're only.
I said they do. Sometimes some lies do take place.
They're only unreliable when they're ruling against Trump, right?
No, I didn't say that either.
Okay, so then how do you determine when they are and when they are not unreliable?
When the facts make sense, when the evidence point to shit, goddamn.
Okay, so
when it makes sense.
When it makes sense. So
if it don't make sense, it ain't. Huh?
So when it makes sense, like for instance, do you think the 34 felonies on Donald Trump's records, do you think there was a reliable ruling from that criminal court in New York?
So when it comes to the grape case, no. Because, I mean, the witness said on live television that she found a grape sexy. I mean, we know this. She couldn't remember time, date, or year it took place. So right there, me personally hearing that story, I'm going to say, no, I don't believe this. Because if a lady comes to me and says she's been great, but don't remember the time, date, or year it took place, and then also said on live television that she finds it
Are you willing to put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah. What on what? What are we talking about?
How much money do you want to put on your claim? You're saying that E. Jean Carroll, not the witness, but the victim, you're saying that she said on live TV that she thinks grape is sexy. How much money do you want to put behind that claim? I'll match you. Let's make a bet. If she did say it, then I'll give you money. If she didn't say that, then you give me money. How much do you want to put on the line?
Let's put $25 on it.
Why not 100?
All right, 100, go.
Why not 500?
100.
You want
500?
You want 500?
Yeah.
Are you dead ass?
Yeah, come on, 500, go.
So you're telling me?
Look it up right now.
So you're telling me, right? If it's proven that she didn't say that she thinks grape is sexy, then you're legitimately going to give me $500?
Yeah. Are you gonna give me $500 if she did say it?
Yeah, if she did say that she thinks grape is sexy, I give you my word. You got 500.
All right.
Oh my God. Wow, dude, I'm about to be a rich man. Oh, this is a great day for me. I'm about to get $500 richer. Holy shit. So anyways, you're about to owe me $500. Venmo and PayPal can be found in the link tree in my bio. It's also just DEANWITHRS. I could have the chat spam it, or I could put it up on screen. Why don't I actually just go ahead and do that right there. So she didn't say that she thinks grape is sexy. She said that other individuals think grape is sexy and that it's not sexy, it's violent. I'll go ahead and play the clip right now.
I think most people think rape.
Hey, let me just play it through my computer. Okay?
Go ahead.
I think of rape it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk.
$500. Thank you so much. Right there.
Wait, hold on. What? I want $500. What you mean? Play that back. Okay, Dean, listen to it though. You gotta really listen to it, fam. Listen to it. Play it back.
Yeah, I'll play it back in my head, and then I'll play it back on here. She said, I think that most people think grape is sexy. They think it's a fantasy. By the way,
how do you know that she's not most people though? How do you know that she's not talking about herself, bro?
Because if
she didn't clarify. She didn't clarify.
She kind of did.
I'm sure she's talking about herself. If she wasn't talking.
She kind of did clarify that she doesn't think rape is sexy when she
talking
pursued
about herself.
litigation against Trump for raping her.
She would have said, I don't think a rape is sexy if she was trying to clarify that she don't think it is, bro.
Yeah, she kind of did say that when she sued Trump.
I'll put my cash out. I DM you my cash
She
out.
kind of did say that when she sued Trump.
No, she didn't kind of say nothing. We listened to the same video, fam. We listened to the same video. I'm not stupid, bro.
We listened to the video where she didn't say that she thinks rape is sexy. Send the money, KJ. You, like the men games won't even work. You said that she thinks rape is sexy. Okay, I don't even need an argument at this point. That's just simply not what she said.
As a violent assault, it is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a.
Can we agree that she did not say that she thinks rape is sexy?
No, we're not agreeing that she didn't say that. If she didn't say that, she would be like, but I don't think it's sexy.
Wait. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Dean,
what?
so she said she.
Let's
said,
let's go ahead and listen to the full thing, KJ.
No,
Since you just need the context, let's just listen to the full thing.
Just like the best New York. Donald Trump is going to put on a filmy bodysuit. It's like.
Let's skip to the last minute.
I always think back and think, that was the stupidest thing I've ever done. I should never have done it. And then I didn't behave.
When you say I should have never done it, you mean?
That was just a dumb thing to go into a dressing room with a man that I hardly know and have him shut the door and then be unable to stop him. And I was a competitive athlete, so I wasn't I didn't freeze. I rose to the occasion, and it did not last long.
Why are you laughing at a victim of rape talking about?
Bro, what? This lady's literally sitting here saying that she agreed to do this. Like, she shouldn't have said that story. That's making her sound even worse, fam. Like, I don't think this video is helping your case, bro.
Are you joking?
This lady literally said she went in there.
Sorry.
She walked in the door.
Are you fucking joking?
Dean, if this was one of your homeboys and a girl came out and said this about one of your homeboys, you would not be on her side, bro. If she said a story like this, be real.
Yeah.
Be real with yourself, bro.
Yeah,
Be real with yourself.
Thank you so much. Hey, KJ, thank you so much for owning yourself as a spineless, sick man that doesn't care about rape. Because what you just told us is that if one of your friends raped a woman, that you wouldn't care and you'd be on his side. What she said in the clip.
Y'all see how he twists words? Y'all see how he twists words? Y'all can see this 4K right here. That's not what I said at all. If anybody has any ears in the comments, y'all know for a fact this ain't what I said.
So what you did say is that if I had a friend rape a woman and then
you're ridiculous,
and then it came out that I choose to be on his side, was that not a mere projection of how you feel?
What'd you say? Say it again.
You said that if I had a friend that raped a woman, that I'd stay on his side. Was that not a mere projection?
I said if you had a friend that allegedly SA'd a woman and she came out with a story like hers, you would not believe it. You know you wouldn't.
Yeah, no, actually, if a woman came out accused one of my friends of rape, okay, and
you just doing this because you don't like Trump.
Okay,
That's
thank you so much. Let me know when I can speak, my friend.
I'll tell you can speak. You're right. And then it's so crazy that you sit here and you talk about essay this, essay that. I don't support essay this, essay that. But yeah, you and the Democrats allowed these immigrants to roam the streets and essay all our women on the streets. But you care about essay so much. It don't make no sense, bro. Y'all backwards. Y'all party makes no sense.
Yeah, so
it makes no sense.
So the only political party that supports
go ahead and talk. Now you can talk.
The only political party that supports immigrants raping people on the streets of countries in this world would be the Republicans.
It's the Democrats.
Okay,
it's the Democrats.
You're interrupting me again.
It's the Democrats. And it's the Democrats.
Why are you getting so emotional? Seriously.
I just don't like when people lie. You lying on you overly lie, bro. It's sad. And you got a lot of people that follow you. That's what bothers me so much. You have so many people that follow you.
I know I bother you. I know I bother you, KJ. I know I bother you. Yeah, the facts get you hot. I get it.
No, it ain't. No, you ain't said a fact yet.
Well, I mean, because you're lying shit. You only let me get three words out. I get it.
You claim you saying the fact, but you came on here and said that she said that she didn't say she finds a grape sexy. Played a video thinking you was gonna be right,
and then I was,
and you weren't right at all. She didn't say that at all. She didn't say that at all. At all.
She said that people think grape is sexy. She didn't say that she thinks grape is sexy, and she was absolutely.
But she also said she didn't. She also didn't say she didn't.
Oh, okay.
Right or wrong.
So now you're actually shifting the goalposts. Right. This should be really easy to prove, KJ. So your original claim was that you bet $500 that she said grape is sexy. I then played the clip, and then your takeaway was, well, she didn't say grape is not sexy. Can we agree that there is a univocal distinction between the affirmative claim that she said grape is sexy and the claim she did not say that she does not think grape is sexy?
Listen, fam.
Answer my question. Can we agree that there's a difference? Yes or no?
There's a difference between her saying
she
it is
thinks
and
rape is sexy, and then the claim she didn't say that she doesn't think rape is sexy. Can we agree that there's a difference between those two statements?
Okay, yeah, that can be a difference, but what you don't understand.
So now, KJ, now you know you owe me $500 because you expressly bet $500 that she said rape is sexy. Then, following me playing the clip, you then went on to argue that I owe you $500 because she didn't say that she doesn't think rape is sexy. But you just conceded by agreeing that those are two different and distinct claims. You just fucking conceded. You owe me $500. Venmo and PayPal.
What was the bet, Dean?
Right there.
Dean, what was the bet?
Was
Dean,
over
tell everybody
was on
what was
over
the bet?
if she did or did not say that she thinks rape is sexy. That's what the bet was over.
So did she say she didn't think rape was sexy?
Completely irrelevant. I thought we already agreed that's a whole separate claim. We could talk about it after you pay me my $500.
You said the bet was.
Wait. You can't say no to that. You just agreed that those are two separate claims. You owe me $500.
No. What?
Yo, Natalie, thank you so much for the $15. Natalie, thank you so much for the $15.
When you asked me that, I wasn't listening.
One second. Natalie, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for the love, Natalie. Natalie says that he owes you a $500. You're absolutely damn right, Natalie. Thank you so much for the $15. Dylan, thank you so much for the $1 and Amal. Thank you so much for the $3. I would also like to thank Courtney. Thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Courtney. One second. I'm thanking some individuals for their donations. Thank you so much. Gunner, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, who says, what a base guy Dean is. Thank you so much for the love, Gunner. Show some love to Gunner down below in that comment section for the $20. As well, show some love to Danielle down below in that comment section for the $20. Says, I agree with earlier donor and wish that you would immediately kick grape apologists immediately. Getting harder to be here every day. Listen, it's getting harder for me to be here every day with people like KJ too. But I just inevitably know that if I don't confront this bullshit, then it's just going to allow for this permissible culture of denying rape to be more prevalent in society as a whole. Okay, at the end of the day, if facts, reason, and logic can't get through to people like KJ with a very small pea-sized brains that blame rape on the victim and just obfuscate and equivocate reality to this fantasy where the rapist is always the innocent person, right?
Just wait until you in those shoes.
The best alternative.
Just wait until you in those. It's easy to see until you in those shoes,
pipe down, little bro.
No.
It's easy to say until you in those shoes and prove that they're insane, so less people think like them as a whole. As well as Bree, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal as well. Thank you so much for the love, Bree. And then Jenna, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Saying as far as the database that this man is talking about, Trump got rid of that in January. I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo, Jenna. As well as Jay, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. He says, I can't believe that there are people that exist like this that are just so terrible. This guy's sick in the head. Appreciate you for that love, Jay. Sorry, as well as Avril, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, who says, KJ sounds like he kind of thinks like a rapist a little bit. Appreciate you for that love, Avril. And then Yvonne, thank you so much for the $25, who says, please tell him that I think he's despicable. I appreciate you for the $25, Yvonne. Yvonne says that you're despicable. And then Emily, thank you so much for the $20 as well, saying here's some anxiety pin money. Appreciate you for the love, Emily. And then Rachel with the $25 who says love your commitment to truth. Appreciate you so much for the love, Rachel. And then Kayla, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I'm still thanking my donors. Kaylee, thank you for the 3. Parker with a 1 and Lydia with a 5. I'd also like to thank for the 11 pounds over on Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love. Leah, thank you so much for the 11 pounds as well from the UK. Kim, thank you so much for the $10 who says, Dean, my mom asked politely to speak louder into the mic. I guess I'll go ahead and do that. And then Narcissa, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, pay the $500, you broke MF.
Broke is crazy, but that's cool.
Listen, then DK, thank you so much for the $50 over on the Super Chat. Thank you for the love, DK. Show some love to DK down below in that chat for the $50.
Dean is scared.
Do people not get that WIC, SNAP, Medicaid,
that's why he reading the money. He's scared.
Directly put money back into rural communities. They buy commodities. SNAP allows small grocery functions, not to mention how rural areas rely on healthcare for jobs and health. Yeah, man, I appreciate you for the love, DK, and you were absolutely spot on. Thank you so much.
This boy is scared. Can we come on, fam?
So, I mean, if thanking donors meant that I was scared, then apparently I'm scared every single moment I'm online.
Yeah, you scared. Okay, listen. Donors. Yeah, you do that when you know you're in a little bind.
But look, you owe me 50. You owe me $500.
So check this out. The lady, back to the video. The lady comes out and says, "Make this make sense." People in the chat that got any brain. The lady said, "Some people find a grape sexy." If someone that don't find a grape sexy, if she really don't find a grape sexy, she would say, "I don't," but some people do. But no, she went and said, "Some people find a grape sexy," and they end it right there. Come on, fam.
And yeah,
come on, fam.
So
clearly she finds a rape sexy. Why would you even say something like that? If you don't think, like, why would you even say something like that?
Okay.
Like, they don't take that. It's just comment. Like, why would you say something like that? But we can move on, bro. We can move on. What's the next thing you want to talk? You still ain't addressed to me.
I'm not ready to move on.
You still ain't.
Let me know when I could respond. I'm not ready to move on. I'd like to address that point.
Okay, we still on this. We still on the topic of sex of SA. You still haven't explained to me how.
Well, I'd like to address that last point that you made. Can I?
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So you're saying if she truly didn't think it was sexy, then she would have said that before prefacing that comment. So first and foremost, you don't know that she didn't directly say that in the clip because I just played 20 seconds. If you want to listen to the full context, let me know and I can play it. And second of all, right, I think that it's abundantly clear that she has said that she doesn't think rape is sexy. She said that she doesn't think rape is sexy when she talked about how this was a horrible, violent experience in her book, talking about Donald Trump. She said that she doesn't think rape is sexy when then after...
Obviously, she gonna say that now, fam.
KJ?
Like, come on, fool.
Why are you interrupting me?
No, why are you act stupid though?
Like,
I can't stand that. Why are you
interrupting me?
Why you act stupid?
Why are you interrupting me?
Why you act stupid?
You only think that I'm acting stupid because you're.
Why you act stupid?
You know this.
That ain't no fact. You ain't. That ain't a fact. What you just said wasn't a fact.
Do I need to put you on mute and make you sit down?
Who are you?
I'm telling you to sit down, little bro. I'm telling you to sit the fuck down, little bro. I'm telling you to sit the fuck down, little bro, and allow me to finish speaking.
Okay, pipe down though, because you can hide behind this internet, but in real life, you would never say nothing like this to my face, fam. So pipe down a little bit though, for real.
Yeah, the reason.
Because I'm saying though, because there's a difference between me and you. Like,
listen, the reason.
There's a difference between like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pipe down though.
The reason why I have 4.6 million followers on TikTok and 2.8 million followers on Instagram is because
It's because people love to listen to lies. People love the things of the left.
And you're still interrupting me. Pipe down, little bro. It's because
that's why people love the lies of the left.
All right, KJ, go ahead. Get it out.
Yeah, I'm telling you why you got so many followers. Because people don't like to hear the truth, and what I tell is the truth. So they don't come to me. Simple. When people hear the truth, they run from it.
So if what I'm saying is evidently false, then why are you so scared to allow me to speak?
What are you talking about? I'm not scared to let you speak. You just talking like
then don't interrupt me.
All right, go ahead. My fault.
KJ, if you interrupt me again, I'm going to kick you.
I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't.
If you didn't care, then you never really join in the first place.
But go ahead.
All right, good boy.
I ain't gonna lie. The only reason why I did this,
all right, KJ,
the only reason why I did this because your support's been telling me to debate you for a minute. But come on.
Yeah, and it ended in you getting absolutely fucking cooked.
I mean, how? Please tell me how.
Yeah, for sure. You put 5.
We ain't talking about none for real. We really ain't talking about none for real.
I'm gonna expressly tell you how you got cooked, and then I'm gonna respond to your comment.
Come on.
Stop being terrified and allow me to speak uninterrupted. I'd really appreciate that, little bro. Okay, so first and foremost, you said that I wouldn't say this to your face. The reason why I have 4.6 million followers on TikTok and 2.8 million followers on Instagram is because I said this to the face of 20 Trump supporters at once on my own Jubilee episode. So sit the fuck down. You have no clue what you're talking about.
Wasn't me,
you have absolutely no clue what you're talking about, KJ.
Wasn't me.
You sound like a goddamn fool.
Wasn't me.
And I'd say this to your face too.
Wasn't me.
And I'd say this to your face too.
Wasn't me.
You're still interrupting.
Wasn't me.
Seriously, do you have any level of self-control?
Wasn't me.
Get it out, dude. Get it out. I mean, you know what? You just want to interrupt. Get it out.
Wasn't me. How many times do you want me to say it?
Yeah, and if it was you, I'd say it to your face too, KJ. Now, can I finish
promise
speaking?
You wouldn't. Promise you wouldn't.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And why wouldn't I?
Oh my God.
Because you was a little pup, fam. You was a little pup. You saying to all these little goofy faces. You ain't say it to my face. I'm not everybody else.
So why would I say it to their faces, but I want to say it to your face?
Because I'm not everybody else. I'm not the other conservatives.
And what's the difference?
They not KJ.
And you're a little bit more dumb and a little bit more of a cult member. That would only make me say it to your face.
They not KJ. A lot of them don't know what they even talking about. But keep going. Let's go. We ain't even talking about no. We've been talking about
wait. You're saying that other people. Wait, 1 second.
Keep going.
You're saying that other people don't know what they're talking about. Yet you're the one that said the man.
I said a lot of them don't.
Hey KJ, that's another interruption. Do I need to start keeping?
Who do you think? For you're not elementary school. I know you got a bob cut like an elementary school teacher, but you ain't no elementary school teacher, fam. Like, relax.
Well, I mean, apparently I am. I'm talking to a grown man acting like an 11-year-old, so maybe I am an elementary school teacher.
You got a bob cut like one, so you probably is an elementary school teacher.
Jesus Christ, I'll take a bob cut and an education, over whatever the hell it is that's going on. Now, if you'd allow me to finish speaking here, I'd really appreciate it, KJ. Can you please just calm down a little bit?
Come on, all right, come on, I'm done messing with you.
Yeah, I'd rather have a stutter than support a rapist, KJ. I'd rather have a stutter than support a felon as president. I'd rather have a stutter than support the guy that went on Howard Stern's radio show and boasted about sexually exploiting little girls and grown women. I'd rather have a stutter than lack an education and expect and support the worst outcomes for this country, not limited to, but including a failure to fund food stamps for 41 million American citizens, cutting off healthcare for 10 million citizens, food stamps for 3 million citizens, and I'd also rather have a stutter than be illegally deporting people like Abreu Garcia to CCOT, where they're like being beaten and tortured.
MS-13 member, yeah, woman beater, by the way.
So now you care about harm towards women. Got it, KJ. But now I'm going to go ahead and finish my
That's
claim.
why I support Trump,
KJ.
goofball. That's why I support Trump, goofball.
You support Trump because you support harm towards women?
Duh.
So you do support harm towards women?
What? See, why do you keep twisting? Okay, quit doing it, though. That's what made me mad. You be twisting my words too much.
I'm not twisting shit, KJ. You just can't let me speak.
Obviously, I support women if I support Trump. Trump is the same man keeping men out of women's sports, men out of women's restrooms.
Hey, Beta.
He's also...
Hey, Beta.
What?
You're going to have to let me speak.
Wait, what?
Have a debate, Beta.
What? I thought you called me Bay. I ain't gonna lie. I was about to say you wildin'.
I'm calling you Beta. So can I please finish speaking now, weak man?
Okay, little bro, go ahead.
Okay, so you just said that Donald Trump is keeping men out of women's restrooms. So do you think that men going into
men out of women's sports as well?
Do you think
everything I said?
Do you think that men going into women's restrooms is pretty bad?
Yeah.
So what if there was like a really perverted man that walked into like a woman's restroom or changing room just with the express intent of looking at like the naked women and the naked girls at the space for like some sexual gratification? Do you think that man should be thrown in prison?
Oh my gosh. Thrown in prison is crazy, but I don't think we should allow that. It's a difference between Trump going in a little dressing room at a pageant that he had some money in than us allowing the world to have gender neutral restrooms. There's a big difference in that, Dean.
Okay, so you just...
There's a huge difference in that, Dean.
So I just want to make sure that I'm getting your argument right. You're okay with Donald Trump unconsensually looking at the naked bodies of women and girls, right, while they're changing in a women's only private space because he owned the building?
No, it's okay with Trump doing it in the past. Like, it's okay. It was a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Okay? It's a bad thing. No, I'm saying it was
for him to sexually exploit little girls, and it was a bad thing for him to sexually exploit.
It was a bad thing that it happened. Yeah, I don't know the context of why it happened, but me hearing that Trump went into a pageant room years ago, I'm like, I'm not cool with that. But the thing is, your side is trying to continue that on, so don't act like you care about it, bro. Your side is literally trying to keep men in women's restrooms till this day. So don't act like you care about it, Dean.
Okay, so I mean...
Obviously you don't.
So are you saying that trans women using the women's restroom is the same thing as a 60-year-old billionaire perving on the naked bodies of children?
Yes, it is the exact same thing.
Oh, shit. Would you ever make a trans woman president? Just to clarify, right, because you think those two things are the same thing, you would make a trans woman president, correct?
No. Why?
Oh, but I thought that. Oh, so therefore you want to make Trump president since they're the same thing.
Wait. Since they're the same
thing. Wait. No, KJ, listen to me. Since they're the same thing, and you wouldn't make a trans woman president because of that, therefore you wouldn't make Trump president either, right?
It makes no sense.
Oh, but no, it does. It makes total sense. You said it was the same thing. You said it was. You said it was the same thing. You said a trans woman using the women's restroom is the same thing.
Going into women's restrooms to this day.
You said it was the same thing. So therefore, because you want to make a trans woman president, you wouldn't make Trump president either. I'm kicking you because of the incessant interruptions. I told you I'd kick you if you made one more interruption. You went on to make 50, and I allowed you to stay up. We're done with you. But I am also now going to just respond by informing you that no, trans woman using the women's restroom is not the same thing as a 60-year-old billionaire exploiting little girls in their dressing rooms. Because on one hand, this 60-year-old billionaire walking into the space and abusing children, which, by the way, you don't care about. You want a predator to be president, you sick fuck. Endangers the women and girls in the spaces. Meanwhile, segregating restrooms on the basis of gender identity compared to sex is actually better for the safety of both the cis and trans women in the women's restroom, because the alternative of segregating restrooms on the basis of sex would mean that trans men should be using the women's restroom. But when trans men use the women's restroom, you're allowing more masculine presenting individuals to enter into that space, space, the effect that testosterone has on any human body is obvious, immediate, and there's so many trans men that look identical to, if not more masculine than cis men. So therefore, because you think that trans men should be going into the women's restroom, therefore you're opening the door to any perverted, sick and twisted cis men to be entering into that space too. So just in summation, it's not the same thing. On one hand, you're supporting the predator as president. On one hand, you're saying, let's make this dude that sexually exploited little girls the king of America, self-described, so we could take food stamps away from 41 million low-income Americans. Then on the other hand, we're just advocating for the well-being and safety of everybody in that space. But leave it to a Trump supporter to confuse good for evil. Leave it to a Trump supporter to confuse fighting for the betterment of this country and everybody in it for emboldening fascism and electing a wannabe dictator to run this country into the ground. Leave it to a Trump supporter to confuse fact for fiction. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. We got that fucking weirdo out of here. You know, I told him if he interrupted me one more time, then I would kick him. I let him interrupt me 50 more times before I finally kicked him. I let him stomp all over the boundary that I made explicitly clear, and he did exactly that. And honestly, it makes perfect sense that KJ would try to stomp all over boundaries, because in that same breath, he was actively supporting the sexual exploitation of children. That's a massive overstep of a boundary if I've ever seen one, so it makes total fucking sense. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the live, y'all. Go ahead and let me know down below in that comment section if you're a Trump supporter and you want to come up here. By the way, we are only 2 hours into the stream, and that is the 4th Trump supporter of the day that has come up here in defense of sexual exploitation of women or girls. That is the 3rd Trump supporter of the day that has come up here and said, I do not care about harm towards women, and I will write it off and dismiss it because I'm a sick, twisted POS, okay? If you want to be fucking, if you truly want to be radicalized, all right, I want this point to be clear, okay? It's not just politics, okay? It's human lives. It's not just politics. It's harm towards women and girls by emboldening rapists and writing them off as good people. And by the way, KJ, you still owe me $500. You could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio and TikTok, as well as you could find it in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream. So we will be expecting $500 from KJ, hopefully very, very soon, and the link tree in my bio. So send the money, KJ. You owe me $500. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
That is a very small child. $500, KJ. That's what you owe me. You are in debt, sir. If you'd like to pay your debt, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. $500. $500. Moving on to the next Trump supporter. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump? Okay, he's driving a car. Moving on to the next guest. Let me know if you are MAGA down below in that comment section. I'll happily get you pulled up here. What's up? Do you support Trump? You have 5 seconds before you're banned.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you support Trump?
Fuck no.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Moving on to the next guest. He owes me $500. He owes me $500, folks. Yo, what's up? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Are you driving?
I am.
Okay, you can't be driving on TikTok Live. Holy fuck. No, the answer is no, he didn't do it. But someone else did. Yo, Vaughn, you're fucking pulling my leg. Yvonne, you're goddamn kidding me. Oh my God. Yvonne, thank you so much for the $800 donation over on Venmo. Jesus Christ, Yvonne. I want to see so many goddamn Yvonnes down below in that chat. Let me make sure, okay, that we get the spelling right here. That is YVONNE. Miss Yvonne. Miss Yvonne with the $800. Yvonne, let me get this straight. That is so much goddamn money. I do not deserve that. Nobody does. No one does. You are such an incredibly kind, generous individual.
Hey, W. Vaughn, bro. W. Vaughn.
Yeah, I literally am kind of lost for words, folks. If I'm going to be honest, Yvonne, I do not know how to respond to that. Thank you so much for your fucking kindness. Show some love to Yvonne in that chat, everybody. Folks, seriously, I want to see nothing but W. Yvonne's down below for the $800. All the love to you. You have been watching and supporting me and Parker since before the 2024 election. You have been hanging out with us for close to a year now, and just one last time here before we pass the mic to the guests, thank you so much for your kindness. It is undescribable. It is undeserved. And I am so incredibly gracious. And I just know how meaningful that is. Yvonne, thank you so much. Thank you, Yvonne. Show some love to Yvonne down below in that chat. What's going on? Do you support Trump, T-Money?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I do not support that, man. I'm not gonna.
Base, bro. Base T-Money. We're gonna go to get that next guest, Kobe, loaded up into the box. Show some fucking love to Yvonne, everybody. As well as Stacy. Thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, I also have a stutter that comes out when I'm passionate while speaking. You give me the confidence to speak in public. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, I do have a stutter. It's not as pronounced as it used to be, but I'm still working on it. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Kobe?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and how old are you?
22.
Cool. Can I get a W Octavia from you?
Nah, you can say that yourself.
Can I get, so no W Octavia whatsoever?
Sure, W, whoever you just said.
For the $20 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for that love. Octavia says Europe has almost exclusive gender-neutral bathrooms and has significantly lower SA and sexually violent crime rates than America. They can shut the fuck up. Dude, gender-neutral bathrooms are definitely the way to go. Thank you so much for the $20, Octavia. As well as Brianna, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Ruby, thank you for the $5. Kendall, thank you so much for the $5. Milena, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, who says thank you so much for everything they do. Thank you so much for the Milena. Amanda with the $10 on Venmo says I bet KJ single as fuck. Reese with the $10 says KJ was never going to send the money, obviously. Appreciate you for the $10, Reese. And then Jessica with the $10 as well says KJ is the type of guy that cries and whines on the ground while he gets caught cheating. Next. Appreciate you for the $10. Amy with the $10 on Venmo says quote unquote KJ is a little bitch. Lauren with the $5, thank you so much. Mel with the 2. Amaya with a 5. Bridget, thank you so much for the 10, saying thank you for what you do every day. Thank you for the love, Bridget. Heather with a 10 saying fuck KJ, appreciate you for the love. And then Greg, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo 17 minutes ago saying preach. Greg, that is so incredibly kind of you. Before we start this next debate, show some love to Yvonne, obviously, but also show some love to Greg and all of our donors down below in that chat. Huge love to you, brother Greg. Thank you so much for the $50, bro. As well as Dominic, thank you for the $20. I want to read their message. Dominic says, quote unquote, thank you for switching me from being a Trump supporter to a Democrat. Dominic, I say this to everybody who shares similar testimonials. You are the reason why I do what we do here. You are the reason why I keep going every day. You are fucking awesome. You should not be the one giving me 20. I should be the one giving you 20. I'm fucking proud of you, bro. Thank you so much for the $20. As well as Jenna, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo as well. Thank you so much for the love, Jenna. We have a couple people on Super Chat too. Pedro, thank you so much for the $50 Super Chat. Joshua, thank you so much for the $50 Super Chat. And dude, fucking Quentin, thank you so much for the $100 Super Chat. You guys are going off today. I'm so sorry. Just like, dude, fucking hell, what is going on? Quinn with a $100 says KJ needs to pay up. Joshua with a $50 says quote unquote concedes argument, tries to lie about the premise of the bet, then argues he didn't hear you when he said that he was the one that made the claim. Little soy boy is so pathetic and gross. Dead ass Joshua. Okay, you guys are being so fucking kind. Show some love to Pedro for the 50, Joshua the 50, and Quentin for the 100. You guys fucking rock. Thank you guys so much for your love and kindness today. As well as there's a handful of other individuals that I also do have to thank on PayPal, but I'm going to go ahead and hold those off for just a second here. Allow this guest to start their argument, and I'll thank you guys kind of intermittently, but go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
Yeah, I mean, I just joined like 20 minutes ago, but I think KJ made like a decent point there. I mean, so I guess my question for you would be, to start off, how would you prevent SA of trans women regarding the opposite gender?
I think that you're meaning to ask another question, because you're asking me how do I prevent trans women from being SA'd? Is that what you mean to ask me? Okay, that's not what you mean to ask me. So
how do you prevent women from getting essayed by trans women?
For sure. You know what? Before I answer this question, can you give me like 3 circumstances of trans women essaying cis women in a public women's restroom?
In America?
Yeah.
Amber McLaughlin.
Okay. Who's Amber McLaughlin?
I mean, it was a case. I'm pretty sure she was like executed and raped by her like quote unquote ex-girlfriend who was like presenting as a male but like had not transitioned yet, or I forgot exactly what the details were.
Okay, so yes, Amber McLaughlin, the first openly transgender inmate to be executed by the state, was put to death in Missouri for raping and murdering her ex-girlfriend. Okay, so what I asked you was an instance of a trans woman like sexually abusing like a cis woman in a woman's restroom, and then you responded. I didn't clarify. Then you responded to that by giving me an instance of like of a trans woman like essaying somebody and then being like sentenced to death for it, essaying and murdering somebody.
Right. So did you not just hear my question? I said, how would you prevent that from happening? I didn't ask whether or not, like, what the punishment should be.
Are you just asking me, like, how would I prevent, like, rape, essay,
my question is pretty clear. If you
happening?
need a second to answer it, that's fine. But my question is pretty clear.
Yeah, but, like, talking about these things, diminishing the impact of rape culture in America, ending rape culture in America, while also enforcing and holding, law against violent crimes. And I feel like it's going to be a little bit more, like, multifaceted in the sense of, like, trying to promote, like, socially speaking, the impermissibility of these actions. I think if we could all come together and, like, condemn people that rape and others, if we could condemn people that murder others, if we condemn domestic violence, if we condemn sexual violence, and we don't permiss it, we don't make rapists president, we don't award a rapist with the highest ranking position.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
I'm still answering your question. President, right? I think that's a good step in the right direction. So I think a lot of the battle for ending sexual violence in this country starts socially speaking. Then, of course, another part of that battle is enforcing laws surrounding violent crime. And then also figuring out why only 5% of rapists end up going to jail and what the issue is in our criminal justice system that leads to that outcome.
Specifically speaking, aside from raising awareness, which I'm 100% in agreement with, what actions, let's say you're president, or I'm sure a Democratic candidate hasn't come out with an exact like action step on how to prevent this, but if you were put in power, how would you stop that from happening? Don't you think like
so wait, listen.
I said aside from maybe you're having a hard time listening. I said aside from raising awareness, right?
You just asked me. So the question that you asked me was like, how would I like want to like end like sexual violence in this country? Right, but I said it's a multifaceted plan of like one, right, working on the social issues that allow this to occur. I think that society is way too sympathetic to rapists. Society is way too sympathetic to the perpetuators of sexual violence. And then two, right, focusing on the issues in our criminal justice system that have led to the prelude outcome of only 5% of rapists ever being locked up, and fixing issues in the criminal justice system. And three, right, enforcing the laws on the books and adding new ones to criminalize child marriage in all 50 states, right, and ensure that when somebody commits an act of sexual violence, that it is prosecuted and they are condemned and sentenced to jail time. That is my plan. Those 3 steps, that's my plan.
So you think those 4 things are going to stop a trans woman who's from going into a bathroom, going into any sort of area?
Why do you keep on making this about trans women? Do you only care about sexual violence when it's committed by trans women?
I'm just speaking within these parameters. We can go into other.
My question is why?
I think. Well, because since it's an issue, is it not?
Well, I mean, I think that all sexual violence is an issue.
Right.
It seems like to you that you don't think that all sexual violence is an issue, since you just want to talk about sexual violence as perpetuated by trans individuals.
I did not say that, and don't mute me.
Okay, so if you didn't say that, if you didn't say that you just don't, if you didn't say that you want to just talk about sexual violence perpetuated by trans individuals, then like why are you just so totally disregarding my question of like maybe 3 actionable steps?
I'm not disregarding your question. You're disregarding my question
as a whole.
You're disregarding my question. I think this is a relatively new sort of
wait. So you're telling me that I'm disregarding your question? Like, how do I want to combat sexual violence specifically perpetuated by trans individuals? I kind of am, because I'm not just focused on sexual violence perpetuated by trans individuals. I'm like focused on sexual violence.
So that's what you would tell if a family of someone.
Because you asked why. Because I'm focused on ending sexual violence is perpetuated by everybody.
Okay, so if a family, if let's say a daughter of like a parent of a child who got raped by a trans woman came up to you and asked you what action steps would you take aside from raising awareness, what would be your answer? That's basically my question.
I gave you the other two prongs of like focusing.
I said aside from raising awareness.
The other two prongs weren't like socially speaking, raising awareness and condemning rape culture. The other two prongs included, right, like determining why only 5% of rapists are ever thrown in jail.
That's going to be your answer to that parent? Dude, you're a joke. That's going to be your answer to that parent?
I mean, can you think of like any other means here that we could like use to like socially end sexual violence as a whole in this country that we could add on to these three prongs? Right, like let's develop a plan here, right, to not to help end sexual violence in this country.
Bro, I think you understand you're a smart guy. You understand what my question is, and I think you're deflecting my question for a reason, maybe because you don't have an answer to it. And if you need 2 to 5 minutes to maybe think about an answer and give it to me, that's fine. But there's no need to deflect and act disingenuous and act like my question isn't pretty straightforward.
I responded very precisely and directly to your question.
Right, and then I reframed my parameters and I asked you another question.
I'll go ahead and re-respond. So you asked me, what is my plan to end sexual violence as perpetuated by trans individuals in this country? I told you I will not Hey, sir, I told you that I will not just focus on sexual violence perpetuated by trans people, right? In fact, I find that to be incredibly counterintuitive to ending sexual violence in this country. If we want to end sexual violence, then we can't just focus on 0.00001% of it. We need to focus on 100% of it. Right? And by the way, can we both agree that a game plan to end sexual violence in this country would definitely not include making a rapist president? Yes or no? Don't avoid the question.
Yes, but whether or not I believe Trump is a rapist, that's a totally different conversation. But 100%, yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, so then you wouldn't support Trump because Donald Trump is a rapist as adjudicated by a civil court in 2023.
I mean, if he was convicted by a criminal court, then I would 100%.
So why don't you believe it even though it was determined by a civil court?
Just because I don't believe Eugene Carroll's accounts.
Okay, why is it?
I just find it hard to believe that you could recall the year in which it happened. I find it very, very hard to believe.
You find it hard to believe that somebody wouldn't be able to recall the year in which it happened. Well, I mean, she did recall. She said either late 1995 or early 1996.
So if someone asked me when a traumatic event happened, like when did my mother die or when did I break a bone or something that you would, I understand there are traumatic instances where you may not recall the exact date. I do recognize that. I think I forgot what the condition is, but I do recognize that's definitely a thing where that may be blurred out.
Right.
But I think you would 100%. I mean, that time frame is pretty large, to make such a claim like that.
Late 2025 to early 1996. 1995 to early 1996. I don't think that's too large. I mean,
very large. What are you talking about?
I was raped. I don't know if I'd be able to call the specific year. Are you saying that I'm not a real victim?
You wouldn't be able to recall this specific year?
No, I don't think so.
Dude,
I could give you a vague time frame. But I could probably say, out of these 2 years, is probably one of those years. I want to be able to give you a specific year. So am I a real victim?
I would 100% respect, and I would respect, whatever you went through. And if you are telling the truth, and I'd really hope so, then yeah. But, then again...
So you've now agreed that I'm a real victim, even though I don't think I would be able to account, the specific year. I could probably give you, a time frame.
If you let me finish speaking, you probably would have heard what I said, but... it actually is funny. KJ called, you do need to get rid of that bob. Really doesn't look good, but
I have no clue what you just said. You were mumbling the whole time.
I said you gotta get rid of that bob. Now that we're speaking and I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that you take more issue with my haircut than a proven sexual abuser. I think if anything, I think that like encapsulates MAGA as a movement better than anything else I've ever seen.
I'm not MAGA. I
think that encapsulates MAGA as a movement better than anything else like that could ever be said. You take more issue with Dean's haircut than Donald Trump raping E. Jean Carroll. You take more issue with Obama's tan suit than you do Donald Trump going on Howard Stern's podcast and boasting about the sexual exploitation of little girls. No, I get it 110%. That is so very common and typical amongst fascist sympathists to literal fascists. And by the way, so you said that a part of your plan to end sexual violence in this country, right, does not include making a person that has perpetuated sexual violence president. All right?
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
What? I did. Oh, you want to bet on that?
Yeah, you said that you want to make a rapist president. Yeah, I do. I would bet on that.
Wait, but that's not what you just said. That's not the question. That's not how you just framed that last statement.
Yeah, I said sexual violence, rapist, like same category, same thing. Is rape sexual violence?
Yeah, but I then went on to say that I don't believe that Trump is a rapist.
Right, I know that. You didn't let me. You interrupted me before I could finish speaking.
Well, yeah, I think.
But everything I'd said up until that point was true. Yes, you said you want to bet on that. I will bet on that. Yes. How much money do you want to put that you said that a part of your plan to end rape culture in this country would include not making a rapist president? How much money do you want to bet?
I wouldn't bet because I did say that. But
okay, so then pipe the fuck down. Thank you so much. So then I'm going to mute you, and then I'm going to continue to speak. Thank you so much. So yes, now that you said, right, that your plan to end sexual violence in America would not include making somebody that's perpetuated sexual violence president, can we agree that sexual violence would include sexual exploitation?
Can we go back to the question that you didn't answer? Yes, I agree, but can we go back to the original question I asked you before you pivoted?
I'm making a little bit of an argument right now. You could accuse me of pivoting, nobody believes you. So now that you've agreed that you would not want to make somebody that is guilty of sexual violence president, and you've agreed that sexual exploitation is sexual violence, okay, well, now I have a new argument for you. I completely believe that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. No, we're staying on topic because it's conceptually related.
You just said you have a new argument. That's a pivot.
Yeah, a new argument conceptually related to the point, dumbass.
Okay, good. Then maybe you should,
Holy fucking shit.
You said a new argument.
Holy fucking shit. Yes, conceptually related to the point, Mr. Idiot.
You just said that. Yeah, you just said that.
And then you interrupted me. And then you interrupted me. Yes, and then you interrupted me. Thank you so much. So now, to get back to what I was saying before you interrupted me once again. Dude, what is going on with you and all the other immature little man babies interrupting me every 3 words?
So then wouldn't that make you immature since you were interrupting me?
Well, the difference between my interruptions of you and your interruptions of me is mine haven't been baseless, and it has been to keep the conversation on track, and then yours have been to make baseless accusations and ask me if you want to bet money on things that you did say, and then you would concede to actually saying them, bro. Just because I'm saying that you're annoying because you're interrupting me completely baselessly doesn't mean that interruptions are not always wrong. So now to get back to my point, after the billionth interruption from you and all the other man children on the live, you said that you would not make somebody that is guilty of sexual violence president, and then you agreed that sexual exploitation is sexual violence. Can we agree that a fair definition of sexual exploitation would include abusing a position of authority or power, right, vulnerability, so on and so forth, for some type of sexual gratification?
Repeat that again.
Can we agree that a fair definition of sexual exploitation would include the abuse of a position of authority, power, or vulnerability for sexual gratification from another individual?
Sure, but wasn't Kamala basically accused of doing that?
No, she wasn't. You could do the but Kamala Harris after I'm done making my argument. So now that we've agreed that the definition of sexual exploitation would include the abuse of a position of power or vulnerability from another individual for sexual gratification, and you wouldn't make somebody that has sexually exploited somebody president, well, now what you're saying is that you don't support Trump because he sexually exploited either young women and or young girls at Miss Teen USA and or Miss USA per his admission to Howard Stern on his radio show in 2005 when he said that he just unconsensually barged into their changing rooms and he'd allow himself and as the owner abusing his position of power to look at them while they were naked with no clothes on in that dressing room, abusing their position of vulnerability for sexual gratification.
You're adding a lot of meat to that scenario, right? Like I think actually what happened is I'm pretty sure there's a bunch I think there's a lot of cases where, owners of pageants who are usually male, go in and check before.
How can it not be construed? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen the video, but there's no need to play it.
Go ahead.
Look at you. You seem so proud to pull the video. I think prior to like these girls like going out to these pageants or recitals or wherever they may be, like I think it is pretty common for whoever the owner or whoever's operating it or funding that said pageant or whatever it may be. I think it's pretty common for them to go in before and check in and see if everyone's doing well. If they need anything, I think that's like, as an owner or something, that's something you should do, like check in and see if operations are running smoothly. Now, I think he definitely like boasted about it a little bit, which I don't think is, okay.
Let's go ahead and listen to the clip. So this is the clip,
dude,
everybody.
I've heard the clip, bro.
I'm not playing it for you.
We're getting further away from the question I initially asked.
So this is the clip that he is saying.
I've heard the clip. We're wasting time.
Hey, I'm not saying this to you. I'm playing it for the audience. So this is
You don't think your audience has seen it before?
Yeah, I don't think the whole audience has, no. So this is the clip.
Dude, you're a joke.
The only joke here is you pipe down, little bro. So this is the clip.
You have a bob on your head.
Once again,
you have a bob on your head.
Once again, more pissed with a bob than the
joking.
sexual exploitation. So this is the clip for the last time. This is. I'll repeat it since you didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah, I did repeat it.
You're more pissed with a quote unquote man bob than you are with sexual exploitation. But anyways, so this is the clip that he is saying is just a good owner making sure that the pageant girls are doing good before the show. Let's go to listen.
Why are you saying it like that? You don't.
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right. I want to make sure that
you're like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
You fucking idiot.
Like, look.
You fucking idiot. You small brain rapist sympathizer. You heard me. Every syllable of every word. Go ahead.
All right, bro.
Yeah, stay silent because you know that you're fucking wrong.
I'm
That's
not
right.
silent. I just started speaking.
Get fucking gagged. That's right.
I'm not gagged. I mean, I was going to answer, and then you just went on a random spiel because apparently I heard your feelings about your bobhead, which I bet you're going to change after this, this little debate that you're having, which is okay. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Just shows that you're, small-minded, insecure man, which is okay. It's totally fine.
Yeah, you didn't hurt my feelings. It's okay, though. Go ahead.
I clearly did. I mean, but it's all right. We don't have to admit that in front of all your fans.
You're just literally trying to gaslight me. I don't care though. Go ahead. Just respond to that.
Look at you saying I'm trying to gaslight you, bro.
Yeah, that's definitionally speaking gaslighting.
You guys are all carbon copies. You're a soft man. That's what it is. But
the only thing soft here is your hands and brain. Mm-hmm. Anyways, go ahead and respond.
My hands are soft. What a weird comment to make.
Obviously, they're soft, bro.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, you got some soft hands. Oh, are you pissed off because I said you have soft hands? Oh, I bet you're gonna go out and start working out your hands after this. No, man, you're so mad that I said you have soft hands. This guy,
you're just a weird human.
Well, wait,
which is okay.
Wait, if it's weird to call other men soft,
which is okay,
when you called me soft.
What?
If it's weird to call other men soft, then it's weird when you called me soft. So go ahead and respond to that clip. Get fucked. Go ahead and respond to that clip, buddy. See, you're trying to run away from that clip by just like attacking me. Listen, man, I'm used. Dude, you literally just tried to deflect from listening to that clip by saying that you don't like my haircut and that I'm soft. Pipe the fuck down. You were such an embarrassment. Actually respond to that clip.
You began to insult me before I even said anything.
Well, sometimes reality's insulting, brother. Don't know what to tell you. Stop being such a snowflake. Do you need a baby bottle?
Yeah, we'll debate you. Would you answer my?
So go ahead and respond to that clip. You literally have no clue what to say about that clip because it refuted you. Listen what I'm saying here. Listen to what I'm saying here. Here are the facts. Here are the facts of the matter. Okay, you said before I played that clip that all Donald Trump was doing. Hey, pipe the fuck down. You said before I played that clip. Yes, because I'm speaking. Thank you so much. So you said before I played that clip.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So you said before I played that clip that Donald Trump. Thank you. For the last time I heard you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I heard you. Thank you. You can stop speaking now.
If someone says thank you and they respond with you're welcome, you say thank you again?
Okay, it's okay. You can stop talking, brother. So before I played that clip, you said that all Donald Trump was doing was, walking backstage.
That's not what I said.
Just hold on, buddy. I understand you're emotional.
Owners.
I understand that you're emotional. Just
you like to misconstrue people's points. I'll correct them.
Wait, was Donald Trump the owner? Was Donald Trump the owner?
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna go. Do you have a fucking problem, bro? Can you stop speaking? Can you
And
stop
if I had a
crashing
problem,
out?
what's wrong with that?
Well, this is a big problem. 1 of a lack of a brain, 2 of a lack of common sense, and 3 of support for sexual exploitation. That's a pretty big one, man. Just let me know when you're done interrupting and crashing out, little boy. I'll wait patiently.
I'm not crashing out. And, dude, I bet I'm so much bigger than you, bro. Like, mentally, physically, in every single aspect. Like, I don't get bob cuts at age 20.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's pretty weird.
Okay,
And what, you're growing gray hairs as well.
You feel insulted. Typically, when people feel insulted,
No, I'm not insulted at all, actually.
Okay, well then, so then why are you
responding to the clip?
You need a therapist? No, I'm actually still speaking. See, I let you get it out so then I can finish my statement. Thank you. Thank you
You
so
have
much.
the floor.
Awesome. So
you're welcome.
So I called you a small man, and then you responded to that by saying that you're bigger than me. First and foremost, doubt it. Second of all, right?
You doubt it? I'm 6'4", 215 pounds.
You're still interrupting.
I would eat you live.
You're still interrupting. Good.
I would literally eat you live.
Okay. Yes. Go. What the fuck? You're weirdo. Yes. You want to eat me? That's odd. Okay. Let me finish speaking. Thank you. Do I have the floor? You just said I do.
Not anymore, because I took it back.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to finish speaking.
You have the floor now.
The MAGA emotional man can't control himself. It's very typical.
Okay.
It's very typical. So I called you small, and then you said that you're probably bigger than me. So I'm not calling you small based upon your physical size.
I also said mentally as well.
I'm calling you small based upon
my mental maturity.
Sir, if you interrupt me again, I'm going to kick you.
Oh, look at this guy.
You heard me.
Look at this guy.
Are you ready to get kicked?
Bro, go on.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to disregard that. Let's focus on the substance of the debate. Before I played that clip, you said owners like Trump like to check into the beauty contestant pageants before the show to make sure that the contestant and the pageants of the contestant are doing all right. Just making sure that they're doing good. All right. And then you wrote it off as something that is typical, as something that is benevolent, as something that is permissible. But then I played you that clip, right, where we all heard Donald Trump say that he would barge into the dressing rooms, a quote unquote private woman's space with quote unquote no men around, quoting Trump there, where the women and or girls in that space would have no clothes on, as he said, they were naked, so he could then look at them. And then he said that they looked really wonderful, that they looked great, they looked incredible. And then he said that he could get away with it. So even Donald Trump knows that it's wrong. So I just want to know, right, what your thought process here is insofar as getting from point A, Donald Trump admitting to sexual exploitation, to point fucking Z, which is you ignoring that sexual exploitation, right? Instead of building reality, building your beliefs off of reality, now opting to misconstrue reality in an attempt to build it off of your beliefs and arguing that sexual exploitation is just merely a good owner ensuring that the contestants of the pageant are doing all right.
I have a couple of things to say about that. Number one, I think like if his actions were as genuine as his statements, or if the reality of his or how do I put this? Like if what he said actually happened.
So you admit he said it.
Can I finish my point, bro?
He admits he says it. Go ahead.
Look at you, bro. Like dude, you just need to get a grip. Let me finish speaking, and then you can, you can.
He admits he said it. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like I said, I mean, if what he said, I think those actions were. What's funny, bro? I can't even get a point out.
I'm sorry. I'll mute my mic. I'll laugh on mute. You just admitted that he said it. You conceded the fucking argument.
If what he said, I said if what he said actually happened.
So you admit that he said it. If what he said actually happened, so you admit he said it.
Does if mean it actually happened? No, we need to go back to the basic grammar.
The if is in reference to if it happened, not if it's what he said. You said if what he said, not if it's what he said.
What are we doing here, bro?
I'll teach you. Let me clarify this.
What?
You said
what?
You said if what he said actually happened. Yeah. Affirming it's what he said, then questioning if it actually happened. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So you affirmed that it's what he said. You're just questioning if what he said actually happened.
That's not what I'm disputing.
So you admit that what he said amounts to sexual exploitation if it were to actually have occurred.
If it actually occurred, 100%, yeah, that's why I said.
You admit that Donald Trump said he sexually exploited women and girls.
That's why I said in the beginning.
Oh my God! Get fucking broiled! Holy shit! Oh, dude, go ahead. Dig your own grave. Go for it.
Bro. I don't even know if I want to speak to this kid. You're like, wait, do you have friends outside of this, by the way? Do you have a social life outside of this?
Somebody's butthurt. Holy shit.
No, I'm not. I'm actually.
I'd be too if I just got fucking steamrolled like that.
I'm confused as to how someone can conduct their life like this. Like, actually, like, I refuse to believe how old are you?
Butthurt. Holy shit. Don't know what to tell you. Call the ambulance. Hey, chat, can we get some, like, can we get some alarm emojis for the ambulance?
How old are you, bro?
I'm 21. I guess I'm older than somebody Donald Trump would like to
call the ambulance.
Well, I mean, shit. Donald Trump was 60, saying that he sexually exploited girls. I think that you need to pick and choose your battles here, son.
What?
And Donald Trump was 60, admitting to sexually exploiting little girls per your own admission. You need to pick and choose your battles.
So I'll completely
You're fucking butthurt.
I'm not butthurt, bro. So I'll completely denounce like what he did, and if what he said actually happened, I mean, like, there's no way I think anyone could defend that. Now, I think it's oftentimes men like to boast around other men and add a little bit of substance as to what's going on. Like, for example, I don't believe, like, there could have been some male makeup artists in there, or they could have been, anything going on.
No, there could have. He said there's no men.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, men like to boast, right? So they obviously wouldn't include, like, if I'm talking to another guy, like, they wouldn't like to include, like, oh, there was a male makeup artist in there, or what, whatever the case may be. But if there truly were no women, and if he truly went in there to look at
you're getting flustered. You just said if there's truly no women. You meant to say if there's truly no men. It's okay. Calm down. You're messing up your words.
Okay. Yeah, I am messing up my words. Thanks. Thanks for clarifying my point. If there were truly no men, then, I think there's no way of defending what he did. And if he truly went in there to look at those women to get some sort of, to get off on for whatever reason, I think that's completely wrong. Now, what I actually think happened in my eyes, again, I'm not defending his actions or anything, but, in the context of this situation, he is speaking to another guy, probably boasting about what happened. What I actually think happened is, he went into the room, went in to check and see if everything was all right, and, he walked out. I don't think, he went in there and, like, stared, like, literally, like, stood there like a creep and, like, stared at women, doing whatever it was they were doing. I think he went in there, probably went around, asked if they were okay, asked if they needed anything, and then went about his day. But again, I mean, back in that era, like,
and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right, I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Okay, look, I mean, if let's just go off of this, I don't think I can really defend that. If like I said, if that's actually what happened. But can we get back to my original question if you'd like to actually answer that? I don't know why we just went on that whole spiel.
Actually, no, because you just lost the whole debate. The debate's over why you support Trump as president, and you just conceded the whole debate. Because do you remember when you said that you would not support somebody as president if they were guilty of sexual violence, and then you said that sexual violence includes sexual exploitation, and then you just conceded that Donald Trump is guilty of sexually exploiting these women and girls?
I said if. I didn't. I said if that actually happened, which I don't. Again,
So the evidence that it happened is that he admitted to it. Oh, and so the evidence that happened is that
so you think admission means I'm confused what your point is here.
Yeah. I think if somebody like says that they've sexually exploited somebody, then there's enough evidence to believe that they've sexually exploited somebody. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
Yeah. Like to a certain extent, yeah. I think it varies by case.
Where the hell are these people coming from? Where the fuck are these people coming from? They're fucking insane. These motherfuckers are so goddamn crazy. They're insane. I've been live for 3 hours. For the full 3 hours of this live, we've been talking to people that think Donald Trump just was telling a joke. Donald Trump said he did it, but that's not enough evidence to believe that he actually did it. For the full 3 hours, we've been talking to some of the most dark, sick, and twisted people in this country. And folks, I want you to know that is MAGA, okay? That's MAGA. Can't deny that. The stream literally says Trump's terrible for America. Why the hell do you still support him? And every single person that's joined in the last 3 hours has been saying the same thing. We're going to go and move on to the next guest. Truly fucking disgusting. I'm so sick and done with the pitiful bullshit of these spineless little boys. We're going to move on to the next guest, Ella. Let's try to have a debate with somebody about why they support Trump.
Okay.
And isn't
Can you hear me?
I'm okay with sexual exploitation. You know? What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, but my family does, and it's something I've actually been kind of struggling with because I hear so much in the media all the time, and I'm very kind of like a middle ground kind of person. Like I can see both ends of things and why people have formed their conclusions and stuff.
Yeah.
But
right now,
yeah, and I just have I had this last conversation, it made me think about all in the media I've seen about a lot of politicians, and I think
right now we are very just strictly looking to talk to individuals that do support Trump as president, Ella.
Oh, okay. So I can't learn and ask, as somebody who has been one of those people who has been more oh yeah, he just makes jokes. But then I just heard that video, and I'm like,
so do you also think that Donald Trump was joking when he admitted to sexual exploitation?
No, hearing that's just disgusting. After hearing that, you hear other things in the media and from family and whatever, because, a lot of things is very right-winged or left-winged. And hearing that, I was very disturbed. I was like, wow.
As you should be, incredibly disturbing. But yeah, like I said, Ella, we're just looking to debate individuals on the live that support Trump. However, if you're just looking to learn more, what I'd highly recommend is just watching the live, the opportunity to take something valuable away from this live in the sense of being more educated in the world around you isn't merely just being in the box and having a conversation, but it's also just listening to the live stream. In fact, that's where I'd argue that a vast majority of the value of the stream comes from, because it's one person is in the box at a time, yet we have 20,000 people watching the live at a time. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do. But after I heard all the stuff that he did and stuff, I've been watching your live stream for a while now and everything else and stuff like that. I think he's one sick motherfucker.
What's your name?
My real name is Cecil Shaw.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What, can you say your name again?
My name is Cecil Shaw.
Cecil Shaw? I'm going to address you by name, okay? Cecil Shaw, thank you so much. Okay, you don't know how absolutely putrid and demonic the last 3 hours of my life have been talking to these droids that will hear this shit about President Trump and not move an inch. So in fact, you coming up here and telling us that it didn't just make you move an inch, but it made you hop off the bandwagon of the MAGA cult altogether is something I needed.
Yes,
I appreciate you for being a goddamn patriot, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You're welcome. I think he's racist against all people. And to be honest with you, I think he's 100% racist. He went in the girls' locker room, looked at naked women, everything else and stuff like that. And he's a sick motherfucker because he's how old? And he's looking at 18-year-old to 3-year-old women and stuff like that. Absolutely. That's wrong, and that's very disrespectful because I don't agree to that.
Absolutely.
See,
at this point, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told the last guest. We are just looking to debate individuals that are MAGA, so I'm going to drop you now. But Cecil, you got my respect. You got the respect of the viewers, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome, buddy. Well, you have a great day, and I'll keep on continue watching your videos because, I really like you a lot, and you're really cool, and I think you have really good knowledge in your history and everything and stuff. But I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you do and supporting the people that you care for and supporting the people that you love, and I really want to appreciate that and thank you for everything that you do.
You're the man, Cecil. You're the man. You take care now. Thank you so much for your kind words. Okay, that was a little bit of a needed refresher. We're gonna move on to the next guest here, guys. Hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA. We're gonna get that next guest loaded up right now. Just make sure that you are only in that queue if you support Trump as president. Holy fucking shit, guys. What a crazy day we have been having so far. We're already 3 hours into the live stream. We have 1 more hour to go. It doesn't even feel like it. Today feels like it is just like blown right on by because of the craziness we have heard from some of these people. Scott, thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat. Scott, in fact, if you could send me a link where I could find that, that'd be highly appreciated, man. I'd really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the love, Scott. Thank you for the $10. As well as Nike, thank you so much for the 10 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love, Nike. Show some love to Nike and Scott. You guys are awesome, 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 awesome. As well as, let's see here, Georgia. Thank you so much for the $6 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for that love, Georgia. Angela with a $10 on PayPal says, thank you for being quote-unquote soft and sticking up for women. Thank you for the love, Angela. And then Kelly, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Thank you, Kelly. What's up, the network? Give me 1 second here. I want to see section. Kelly with a $50. That is so incredibly kind of you. She says, keep up the outstanding work. You are amazing. Well, thank you so much for your kind words, Kelly. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for watching the stream, and I appreciate you for donating $50. Like, holy shit. What's up, the network? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't.
All right. We're just looking specifically for people that do support Trump, so make sure if you are in the queue that you are an American adult that is pro-Trump, y'all. As well as Rocky, thank you so much for the 20 Canadian dollars over on PayPal, as well as I read your message there. Thank you for your kind words. Show some love to Rocky for the $20. And then Gina with a $10 saying, as somebody who works in the pageant world, there are literally signs that say no men allowed at the door to the dressing room. It is never okay to be a creep. Preach, Gina. Thank you for the $10 and the info. And then Devon, thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal, who says, hey, my name's Devon and I've been watching you since 2023. Love what you're doing. Appreciate you for that love, Devon. Show some love to Devon. Show some love to all the donors. I really appreciate you guys so much for your kindness. Fuck yes. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Devon. And then Danielle, thank you for the $10 on PayPal saying you're a little sassy today. I'm a little sassy today, dude. These shitheads have me on edge, man. What's up, D and Cole? Do you guys support Trump?
Yeah. What's up? How are you?
I'm doing all right. Is that Cole speaking?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Here, give me a second here. There we go. I'm going to go to put up the one that says Trump is terrible for America. Give me a second, Cole. Let me thank a couple more people. Melissa, thank you so much for the $20 and the 54 cents. Thank you so much for the love. Saying, Dean, this victim blamer knows nothing about fawn response or about assault and should shut the fuck up. Well, I appreciate you so much for the love, Melissa. And I could not agree more about that last guest in KJ. You are awesome. Thank you for the $20, Melissa. In fact, we just got another $20 from another Melissa with no message attached, just the love. Appreciate you, Melissa. Show some love to Melissa down below, folks. And then Carmen, thank you so much for the $3 over on Venmo. Tom, thank you for the 4. Pot, thank you so much for the 5. And then Shauna, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, I'm 36 and I still say call the ambulance. Yeah, that last guy needed it. And then Sophie, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo as well. Sophie, feel free to send me an email about that. Thank you so much for your kindness. And then Porsche, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. And Yasmin, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo as well. Show some love to Yasmin. Yasmin says, as somebody who's essayed, I hate it when men try to paint women liars only because they can't recall the time and the exact date of something so terrible happening to them. Defending Grape is crazy. What a weird individual. Yeah, that guy was a weird fucking individual. I'm sorry to hear that happened to you. These people don't know shit. As well as Beth, thank you so much for the $20 saying, I also noticed that he said in the clip that, quote unquote, that contestants are, quote unquote, obligated to say hello with their vagina. So gross. Thank you for defending women. Dean, love your life. Beth, it's so good to see you again. Yes, both Trump and Howard Stern said many, many gross things in that clip. Just absolutely abhorrent. And then this came in 25 minutes ago, but I still really want to thank you. Holy fuck. Kate, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Holy shit, Kate. Thank you so much. Kate with a $50 says Kobe came on Parker's live with the same weird question. He's completely disingenuous and transphobic. He also attacked Parker's hair when Parker started schooling him. Yeah, what a weird guy. I guess he's obsessed with me and Parker's hair. But Kate, seriously, that is an incredible amount of money. I mean, just thank you so much for your generosity. I don't deserve that. Thank you for the $50. Let's get 500 Kate W's. And then Malia, thank you for the 10. Ava and Sarah, appreciate you guys for the 5. Adam, thank you so much for the 5. Let's also see here Dylan and another Adam, thank you guys for the 5. And then Chandler, this came in 32 minutes ago. I do want to thank you. Thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo as well. Chandler with a $50 says, ask the guest, what's to stop grown cis men from harming little boys in the bathroom, which actually happens way more. Ask him why he doesn't care about that. I'm going to go ahead and assume that came in when we were talking about like if trans women should be able to use a women's restroom or not. I'm going to have to keep that one in mind for the next time that conversation pops up because that is a great point. Chandler, thank you so much for the $50, as well as Katie, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo saying, here's $20 towards KJ's debt. I appreciate you for the love, Katie. You're awesome. All right, folks, we're all caught up for now. Let me make sure that there's nobody new in Super Chat. I think that we're good.
Perfect.
And go ahead and take it away, Cole. Why do you support Trump?
So like, I kind of want to say this from before. The other people, I'm sorry for the other people, right? I'm not like them. Obviously, Trump said that he would go into like the pageant room or the changing room or anything. That's messed up. Obviously, that's sexual abuse. I do have a quick question for you though. Why do you think that he didn't give out the money for the EBT, the $5 billion that he had? Why do you think he didn't do that?
So then he could violate the Hatch Act, go to the USDA website, and say that it's the Democrats' fault because he values owning the libs more than he values keeping Americans fed.
Right, but didn't it say it was some type of like he said it was like some type of emergency fund?
Well, I mean, he could have extended emergency funding towards the SNAP benefits, or he could have just gave a pledge and a promise to states that if they pick up the bill for the rest of the shutdown, once the shutdown is over, then he could reimburse them. And I find that one to be like more plausible. Like I think that he like seriously could have done that with like no complication, and he still didn't even do that.
But it wouldn't be enough for the 41 million Americans, right, that use EBT.
Yeah, well, it would be enough. Like a pledge to the state saying that if they pick up the bill for now, like just for like maybe like another 20 or so days while the government is shut down, that he'll reimburse them. I fully believe that would have been enough to keep benefits running. Do you disagree?
No. Right. No, it was just a question. I got up here to ask that. Also, I also have a question about deportation, right? So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think your views on it are...
Well, I'm interested in why you support Trump as president. Do you have an argument?
Yeah, I do. But let me just get to my question first.
Okay. As long as an argument follows.
Yeah, right. So I know your views are you want deportations, right? You want people to have a due process, right?
I'm for mass amnesty. Unless you have like prior violent like convictions or pretty insane nonviolent criminal convictions, like I think that you should be given amnesty, a pathway to residency or citizenship. Now, like once again, I guess why do you support Trump as president?
Well, mainly because of his deportations, mass deportations.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you one very specific question. What is one like specific positive outcome of mass deportation on America?
Right. So I think I heard somewhere that Americans themselves can't get jobs because of how many people are coming in. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm here to learn.
Yeah, you're wrong. So there's 8 million open job opportunities that Americans could fill, but they're not. Not to mention that I believe undocumented immigrants actually help prop up American industries, thereby creating more jobs through their $1.1 through $1.7 trillion per year GDP contribution and the over $100 billion per year that they pay in taxes.
Oh, shoot. Okay, guess I'm wrong then. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Is that all?
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Okay, sorry. I know. I asked you a question about your views on deportation, right? So you said that unless they committed a crime, they shouldn't be deported, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So they could come into the country illegally, but if they didn't commit a crime, they can stay here. Right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like they don't like commit like a violent crime or pretty insane like non-violent crime on American soil. Yeah.
So what about the people? So okay, say the border was like really like.
One second, Cole. Whitman, do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. I think that this is Cole's last question, and then I'll let you take it away. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So say the border was open right now. People have the ability to go over the border, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that they should be allowed to stay here, and we should fund them, or?
Well, the border was open, then it'd be our fault that the border was open. So yeah.
Well, no, because remember Trump said that no illegal immigration, or zero people have came to the U.S.
I'm just really
since-
confused. What is your question?
No, actually, sir, I'm saying like, because you said that you want people should have the ability to stay here unless they committed a crime on U.S. soil, right?
Yep.
But currently, October 28th, right? If someone came into the U.S. illegally, should they be able to stay here, or should we remove them?
Yeah, I think that they should qualify for amnesty too. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you take care. Whitman, welcome in. You told us that you're a Trump supporter. Before I pass you the mic here, there's just maybe like 4 or so people that I want to thank. Then the mic is yours, sir. I'd like to start off here with Rocky. Thank you so much for the 40 Canadian dollars over on PayPal. Saying, Rocky, here once again. Lol, you do deserve it. Well, Rocky, thank you so much for the love. You've been supporting me a lot recently. Just know that I really appreciate you. Let's get 400 Rocky W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much, man. As well as Abigail. Thank you for the $10 on PayPal. Abigail says, I do love your haircut, Dean. You know what? Thank you. Thank you, Abigail. Shout out to Rocky and Abby down below in that chat. As well as Jacqueline with the $10 who says, thank you for all you do. I look forward to your lives every day. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much. And then Susan, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal as well. Thank you so much, Susan. And then Taylor with the $15 on PayPal who just says, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. You are absolutely like fucking awesome. And then let's see here. Natalie, thank you for the $2 over on Venmo. Kate, thank you so much for the $30 on Venmo who says, so wild how many people are still obsessed with your age. It's embarrassing that these people have lived so much life and still support a fascist. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's not embarrassing that I'm young and acquainted with reality. It's embarrassing that they're old and not. You know what I mean? Thank you for the $30, Kate. Couldn't have worded it better myself. Show some love to Kate down below. As well as Haley, that is Hayli. Thank you so much for the $15 on Venmo, saying I like the hair. Fuck them. Appreciate you for that love, Haley. And then Elizabeth with the $5, thank you. And Christopher with the $10, saying more love. Here's $10 towards your therapy. Thank you. And Sacred Souls, thank you so much for the $15, saying thank you for doing this so we don't have in such a vast quantity. And congrats on yet another successful demagitation. Appreciate you for the love. And then let's see, who else do we have here? Tom, thank you for the $4 on Venmo. And holy shit, Dana, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. This dude, holy shit, Dana, thank you so much. That is Dana DANA with $100. They say, I recently turned 60. You give me so much hope in the younger generation. By the way, I have a 25-year-old daughter working on her PhD. Have you gotten my PayPal contributions? Dana, I will look for that literally right now. Thank you so much for the $100. Like, that is fucking crazy. Thank you so much, Dana. While we're looking, while we're going to pass the mic here to Whitman to give us his argument insofar as why he supports Trump, show the donors and show Dana some love down below in that chat. Seriously, thank you guys so very much. Like, holy fuck. Thank you. So much love and so much support. Thank you guys. But go ahead and take it away, Whitman. Why the hell do you support the worst president of your 23 years of life, that being Mr. Donald J. Trump?
All right, first of all, that's an opinion.
It is my opinion.
Right, and I get it, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, which I think that should be accepted instead of, ridiculed. So I wanted to bring back up abortion that we were talking about earlier, because I've been watching for a little while.
Yeah.
Is that all right with you?
That's fine. If you're telling me that you support Trump because you're pro-life, that's an argument.
No, yeah, and so I don't agree with, I don't think that, you should be able to have an abortion with rape under certain circumstances,
Good, I'm happy
circumstances,
that you think
that. But I have a question for you. So do you think that the people, that weren't raped, should they be able to have an abortion?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I just don't think that there's anything wrong with the action. Like, wait.
So you don't think that... And sorry, you can finish.
I was just saying, like, I can't identify any reason why they shouldn't be able to. Therefore, they should.
Okay. And so I got a question. So when do you think that a fetus becomes, living?
Like, biologically? Biologically speaking, life begins at the moment of conception. But that's a scientific fact, not a moral argument.
Well, I know, but you agree that you think it's not murder, correct?
Yes, I don't think that it's murder to kill a fetus because I can't identify any reason why it'd be unjust.
So, but you brought up a point earlier that you said somebody that is brain dead, right? Mm-hmm. It's...
Oh, we lost you there, Whitman.
Wait, okay.
The last words that we heard, so earlier you brought up a point saying that somebody that's brain dead, right? And then you cut out.
Right. You said you were comparing the two.
Yes.
And saying that unplugging,
Women, buddy, you keep cutting out.
Sorry about that. Hey, somebody's trying to call.
He's gone again. And he's
wait, here. Sorry, somebody is calling. Okay,
feel free.
I apologize.
So go ahead and continue.
So you were saying you were comparing the two, but scientifically proven, a fetus does have brain waves, which somebody that is brain dead does not.
Yes. So fetuses starting at 8 weeks have low levels of brain activity, and brain dead patients don't. That does not change the fact that both the brain dead patient and the fetus are both biologically alive and human. All right. So when presented with the argument that abortion is wrong because murder is killing human life and human life has intrinsic value because it's human life, this would tell us that it is wrong and murder to kill a fetus. However, it would also therefore imply that it is wrong and murder to pull the plug on a brain dead patient, since they are also merely human and merely alive, regardless of the fact that they do not possess brain function.
But there's a difference there because the fetus has the chance. Right?
A future life. Well, that's not a difference that is relevant to the argument that the fetus is valuable because it's human and alive now. However, if your position is rather that, well, the fetus is valuable because it has a chance for future subjective experiences in a future life that the brain dead patient doesn't, well, congratulations, then all of a sudden the hypothetical would not apply and others would in its place. So I guess let's just start by asking you, what is your pro-life position? Why do you think abortion is wrong?
I'm pro-life, obviously, because the fetus has a chance at life. It has a chance to become something, to do something, to change, potentially change the world.
Okay.
Correct?
To potentially change the world. Okay. Well, I mean, it also has the chance to potentially be Hitler 2.0. I'm not sure that's a good argument.
Right. But I mean, that's a crazy comparison, but.
Well, I mean, it's just as much of a potentiality as curing cancer, right? We could all talk about the future prospects that could occur given that fetus is not aborted and brought into the world around us. I think it's kind of crazy to suggest that we know exactly what this unicellular organism is going to wind out to be.
You don't remind with him?
So, well, one thing that I don't agree with how you compare things is that the fact that you're grabbing things that barely relate and then turning them on people.
Well, it's just because you don't understand the nature of the use of a hypothetical relevant to a moral principle. If the moral principle is fetus valuable because human and alive, right, using logic, if anything else is also human and alive, therefore in accordance with the moral principle, it would be valuable too. That's how reason, logic, and principles work.
But when we were talking about, because I was using hypothetical, things as well. But you also said earlier that, people were stupid for using hypothetical things. That's a third grade thing.
I definitely didn't say that. You're definitely misconstruing my words. I use hypotheticals all the time.
You called somebody out earlier because of it.
I remember calling somebody a third grader. I don't remember why, but it's definitely not because they were using hypotheticals.
Okay. Alrighty.
So then what's the pro-life position? You said it's because of their future potential prospects. So are you saying that abortion is wrong because in aborting a fetus, you are preventing the existence of a future person?
That's part of it. Also, you're killing life.
Oh,
I mean, you're killing.
It's just killing life. Exactly, killing a human being. I've already given you the issue with that. You're also killing a human being when you're pulling the plug on a brain dead patient, yet you don't think it's wrong. So if that's not what the issue boils down to, and rather the issue just merely boils down to preventing the existence of a future person, well, if my dad pulled out, he would have been preventing the existence of a future person, that future person being me. So are you saying that if my dad were to have pulled out, that would have been wrong, just like abortion?
That's a crazy comparison.
Well, both of those actions prevent the existence of future people. Listen, can you agree that if my dad pulled out, I wouldn't be here today?
That's true, but that's also his choice if he would have. So, but the difference is...
It's a man's choice to pull out, therefore it should be the woman's choice to get an abortion. Kind of my point.
But if he didn't pull out, that's his choice, correct?
If he did, it was
your dad's.
It'd be their choice,
right? So whoever it is, it's their choice to engage in sexual activity.
Woman.
Well, it's the choice to involve themselves in sexual intercourse, correct?
When it's consensual, yes, and it should be consensual.
So, but they're the ones that aren't preventing it. So, I mean,
oh, so you're just saying that well, like the pregnancy was a natural consequence of like the action, therefore the woman should be.
Yeah, it is 100%.
Okay, and then a natural consequence of smoking cigarettes is lung cancer. Therefore, if I smoke cigs and I get lung cancer, should I have to deal with the natural consequence of my action, or should I be able to go consult a medical health professional?
Are you gonna die if you don't smoke?
But that is totally your choice if you choose to smoke. It's not something that is
I'm going to finish what I'm saying here. So I made the free choice to smoke cigarettes, acknowledging that a potential outcome of that may be lung cancer, right? So then if I get lung cancer because I'm smoking cigarettes, because of my free choice, according to your logic, I should be forced to deal with the natural repercussions of my action and just fucking live with that cancer, right? Or if like I'm an alcoholic and I get a liver failure, natural consequence of my action, I should just suck it up and deal with it, right?
You're the one killing yourself. The fetus isn't killing itself.
Okay, so then it has nothing to do with dealing with the natural consequences of one's action. It has all to do with just killing the fetus, and that's wrong because it's a human and alive. We've already disputed that view, i.e. enter brain dead patient here. See how when you try to obfuscate your view and change it to dealing with the natural consequences, I'm able to effectively like squash that shit out. So then you just go straight back to saying that it's morally valuable because it's a human alive. But I actually destroyed that argument before you even made it, because your first question was questioning my rebuttal to that view, said rebuttal being, well, so is a brain dead patient. They're human and biologically alive, yet we don't think it is murder nor wrong to kill them, even though they would sufficiently fulfill the necessary properties of your moral principle, that being, if human and alive, then morally valuable.
So you mentioned something earlier about a girl on here was debating you, and she said if she was given an infant and it was murdered, right? And you said you decided to use the term as stabbing it to death, correct?
Yeah, stabbing a newborn baby to death is murder. Okay, not relevant to abortion.
Correct. Right, but I mean, have you seen how abortion is done?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Like taking the legs off, taking the arms. Oh, and then they eat it and they get the adrenochrome and they stay 35 years old and then they pray to Satan. Yes.
But none of that is cruel to you. I love the fact that you smile about fetuses just being aborted.
Well, I don't think it's cruel. I don't think it's wrong. I think it could be optically gruesome, but I don't think optics tell us what is morally correct and what's not morally correct. At the end of the day, that is one of the many ways in which this procedure is done. And maybe here's my rebuttal to you. If you're just saying it's morally wrong because of the way that it looks, well, what if it didn't look so bad? What if it didn't look so gruesome? What if the practice of an abortion was as beautiful as Picasso painting? Would you all of a sudden say that abortion's not morally wrong?
But it's not. That's not how it's done.
Yeah, but if it were to be super beautiful, right, for whatever reason, would you then say that it's not murder?
And anything that is killing a human life would never be beautiful, and the fact that you would say that is ridiculous.
Dude, you're literally not tracking whatsoever here. This is unbelievable. The question is, if it were to be optically pleasing for whatever reason, then would you still think it's murder?
Yes, it's killing it.
Boom! Exactly. So do we see there how the optics of how gruesome something may look bears no relevance to if said thing is morally wrong? Because if it were to not look gruesome, you would still say it's wrong. Thereby, that fact bears no moral weight in your argument that it is morally incorrect for a woman to get abortion.
So if I killed somebody but it looked beautiful, that's okay?
No, that's what we just concluded was not okay, as the optics of it bear no relevance whatsoever on the morality of the act.
Okay, what's your point? I don't understand your point that you're trying to make.
Yes, I'll repeat it for you. You said abortion wrong because procedure looks brutal. I said, I don't think the way something looks determines if it's right or wrong. And then I gave a counter argument saying, well, if it didn't look brutal and instead looked beautiful, would you still say it's wrong? Then you said yes, and then I said point proven.
I don't understand what you're proving there, and what I said was that...
I'll repeat it. I will repeat it. The point that was proven there is that the way an action looks, if it is optically grotesque or optically gruesome, bears no relevance and if that thing was morally right or wrong to do. Okay, it's crazy. I hear you and 2 people in the background that are not getting this point. Holy fucking shit. God save us. I'll try to make it simple. You said abortion wrong because it looked bad. Then I was like, the way an action looks isn't relevant to if it's wrong. and then I employed the example, well, if abortion doesn't look bad but rather looks good, would you still say it's wrong? And then you said yes. And then I was like, so therefore, if action looked bad or good, this doesn't tell us if action right or wrong.
I love your caveman explanation, but you're also taking what I said and using it differently, because what I said
it against
is that
you to prove a point. Yes, that's the debate.
Killing a fetus is what is wrong about abortion, not the way it looks. I added that. Yes, that is another thing that is terrible about the situation, but that is not what I'm like. Killing an infant is what is a fetus is what's wrong.
So
that's morally
it's just
wrong.
It's like murder to kill like really young humans.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. That's murder.
Okay, so therefore, when a woman has an IUD that can kill zygotes, and it does kill a zygote, she's a murderer because that's a really young human.
No.
Wait, but a zygote is like the youngest a human can get. It's like the first stage of human development. It's a unicellular organism. So I guess it's not murder to kill really young humans. That's kind of like my point.
You just asked me, is it murder to kill young humans?
And you said no. You said no. You're a Satanist.
I said it. I said it was.
You're a devil worshiper.
You said it's not.
No, because you said it's not murder.
You literally
you
said
it's not murder to kill a zygote.
You're the one that said killing a young child.
I guess we're both murder. I guess we're both murder. We're both devil worshippers because you said it's not murder to kill a zygote, and I agreed. Do you know what a zygote is?
I actually don't.
Maybe we should go over that first. It is the first stage of human development. It is a unicellular human organism that exists in the immediate moment following conception.
Okay, I appreciate you informing me on that. But
is it murder to kill a zygote? Like some forms of birth control do that. They allow for that zygote to exist, and then they just prevent it from growing, causing it to die. That's one of the functions of an IUD. Is that murder?
Well, I first of all, let's address the fact that I never said that I think an IED or IUD or whatever is okay. I mean, I still think that the fact people are wanting to...
But is the death of that zygote murder? That's what's being questioned.
I would think that it's completely different and off the...
Wait, why? Because a zygote... But a zygote is a young human growing inside of a woman's uterus, just like the fetus.
I think
dude, like literally, like a fetus was like literally a zygote like 5 weeks ago. How could it be completely different?
You're taking this completely out of context. This is something that I don't enjoy about your debate is you try to take things that are barely related and flip it.
Dude,
you
can't say that this is barely related. A fetus was a zygote like 5 fucking minutes ago. And dude, the zygote's just the first stage of human development. Listen, I understand that maybe if I'm making some far drawn out hypothetical, like invoking like Superman, right, to prove a conceptual point, right, super like crazy nonsense, then I understand if you're like, Dean, you're just trying to connect dots that don't exist, drawing on something far out and unrelated. But shit, dude, you can't get more related to the subject by drawing a comparison between a zygote and a fetus, considering the fact that a fetus was like a zygote like 3 fucking picoseconds ago. All that a zygote is the first stage of human development inside of a woman's uterus. Or more so the fallopian tubes, but whatever.
Okay. Okay, so what you're saying is that you think that IUDs, like in our perspective, you think that IUDs would be wrong, correct?
Yeah, from your perspective, a woman with an IUD that knows it can kill zygotes and it kills a zygote would be a murderer, yes.
Okay, so my point here is an IUD is... the whole point of it is to prevent pregnancy. So that woman is actively trying to prevent pregnancy, unlike other women that don't go on birth control, don't go on anything, get pregnant, and then get an abortion and kill their baby.
So you're okay
I think
with
that's
a woman.
2 different things.
So you're okay with a woman preventing pregnancy by killing a zygote. Therefore, why are you not okay with a woman preventing pregnancy by killing a fetus?
Because they're the ones
that open their legs and let themselves get pregnant.
Okay, all right. Yeah, super nice language there, but you do understand that in order to like have a zygote growing in your fallopian tube as a woman, you have to have sex first, right?
Sure.
Connect the dots.
I really don't get how.
I mean, super misogynistic language. We could work through that point, right? Right after you connect the goddamn dots. Once again, a fetus was a zygote 3 seconds ago. Connect the dots. Okay, in order, right, for a zygote to exist inside of a woman's body, for that IUD to kill by not allowing it to implant, right, you would say they gotta open their legs, right? Super misogynistic. I would say they have to engage in sex.
Okay, they have to engage in sex. I think it's the same thing.
Well, one is parroted by men with zero brain cells, like your brother, cousin, boyfriend, whatever, and the other is just a simple evaluation of reality and a description that isn't demeaning towards women in the same sense yours is.
So, are you stupid and just can't make the inference on it?
Well, if I couldn't make the inference, then explain me making the inference.
You're getting mad about it, even though you understood exactly what she said, correct?
Yes.
You're trying to be an English
so
teacher.
you could understand that when a white supremacist screams, "I hate N-words," that they're referencing black people because that is the way that the N-word is used, but still be frustrated with somebody screaming, "I hate N-words." Okay? Yes, I know what your bigoted language means. I know what your misogynistic language means when you're like, "That woman is spreading her legs." Okay? I know that means that she's engaging in sex. Okay? I'm just simply pointing out that that phrase is just used to demean, ridicule, and berate women. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, bringing up the N-word, you wanting to say it's wrong, aren't you the one that has publicly been showed that you've said it and used it?
I said the N-word when I was 14, and then I became a better person. You didn't.
So you have no idea who I am, but past things don't matter if you say I'm sorry.
Wait, no, it doesn't not matter that I said the N-word when I was 14. If it didn't matter, then I never would have addressed it. If it didn't matter, then I never would have changed as a person. If it didn't matter, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I'm just simply saying that I'm not racist. I'm not racist today, right? Because I was able to understand the ways that the use of slurs impact individuals. I was able to understand that they perpetuate and uphold racist systems in this country and on the global stage. Right? You're equivocating between somebody changing for the better and the wrongness in which would call for change not mattering.
Well, it's just a bad thing for you to use as a.
Yes, it is bad for white people to use the N-word. I'm so happy we can agree, my friend. Now, where do you want to get back to abortion?
No, I mean it was about how you wanted to address that and use that as your explanation or whatever.
I didn't scream, "I hate N-words." Okay, I want to make that clear because that's the equivocation that you're trying to make. No, when I was 14, a friend sent me a Fortnite edit on Instagram, and I responded by saying that's hella goated my N-word. I mean, I just want to clarify that so nobody watching thinks I was viscerally hating black people. Okay, right? The context in which I used it wasn't directed towards a black individual, but that doesn't change the fact that it's wrong, nor does that change the fact that it was racist.
Alrighty.
I just needed to clarify there because you were trying to make it seem like I was screaming, "I hate N-words," which I wasn't.
No, I'm not a huge fan of the inferences you make or how you compare things that are not crazy. A lot of things aren't super close that you compare, or you try to get somebody by turning something on them by making.
When are you going to stop pretending that you care about people saying slurs?
I do care. What are you talking about? The fact that you would say that is crazy.
If you care about people saying slurs, then why didn't you care about Donald Trump telling everybody not to vote for Obama because he's black? Basically, that's what he did with the birther myth, arguing that he was obviously born in Africa. Then even after Obama released his birth certificate, he was like, "I don't trust that. He was born in Africa." He did that for years, and you're still you're yes, #1 dick rider.
I never said that everything that Trump has done is correct.
By the way, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said dick rider. I don't know. I think that's wrong to say. It just kind of slipped. Go ahead.
I never ever agreed about everything about Donald Trump. I don't agree about everything that he's done in his entire life. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, there is things that every single person, we just proved, you have done things wrong in your life. Correct? Like you've done things you have regretted.
Yeah, but saying that everybody's done wrong, therefore I don't care about systemically trying to limit the job opportunity of a black man because he's black, or like I don't care about him being like held civilly liable for rape. I don't care about him boasting about sexual exploitation. It is just like insane, right? Yeah, no, I did say the N-word when I was 14. This in no sense undermines the legitimacy in my claim that nobody should support Donald Trump as president because of his absolutely atrocious character.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for your time. I do have to leave though. I have a job, so I appreciate it, and you have a good rest of your day.
You take care, man. Hope you took something away from that conversation. We're going to go to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everyone. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in the box. Jamie, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love, Jamie. We're going to go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up in right now. As well as, let's see here, Lisa. Thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, just for a little bit more precise language, it is an embryo for the first trimester. Oh, shit. For the full first trimester, it's an embryo. Then it becomes a fetus. Love you, Dean. Okay, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lisa. Show some love to Lisa down below. As well as Aisley, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Aisley. Vintage, thank you for the $10. Say not all heroes wear capes. Have some bowl cuts. Appreciate you for that love, Vintage. And Kyra, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Kyra, that is KYRA, says, so the woman shouldn't choose to have sex, but the man can choose to pull out, and then the woman can't choose to abort. Completely contradictory. I couldn't agree more, Kayla. Kyra. Show some love to Kyra down below in that comment section for the $50. Seriously, Kyra, thank you so much for the love. 500 Kyra W's. What is up, Kim?
Hi, Dee.
Hello.
How you doing? I have a Maga here that I'm going to present to you.
Oh, really? I just out of curiosity, so we could help kind of like build the scene here. Are you Maga?
No.
Okay. And is this, if you don't mind me asking, like, what is your relationship to this person?
This is my boyfriend.
Oh, all right. Put him on.
All right, here he is. Good luck.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, man. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy. Well, there's a couple people that have donated to me, and I would like to thank them real quick. I just want to make sure, is that okay? I don't want to like waste your time here. Is it okay if I thank a couple people real quick?
That's cool.
All right. I appreciate you for your patience, man. Thank you so much. Let me go to thank a couple people here. Maria, there we go. Maria, there we go. Maria, thank you so much for the $30 over on PayPal, saying I'm an older woman and I'm so proud to see such a well-rounded young man advocating for democracy. Thank you for what you do. Maria, thank you so much for your kind words and the $30. Chat, let's show some love to Maria for the 30 down below. Thank you so much, Maria. And Andrew, holy fucking shit, dude. Thank you so much for the $100 on PayPal. Show some love to Andrew down below. Holy cow. Andrew with $100 says, as a dad in Chicago, getting my neighborhood run over Saturday. It doesn't matter why Trump's goons are here. They are here with guns in full gear, and it's fucking scary. Listen, Andrew, I'm sorry that you're going to be dealing with that. I haven't talked to many people in Chicago, but I have talked to a couple people in D.C. People are scared, right? People are scared. They're not going out, and it's devastating to local communities. I'm really sorry that you got to live through that, and thank you so much for the $100, Andrew. Seriously, man, thank you so much for the love. As well as Casper, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Casper. Thank you so much for your kindness. Ray with a $5 on Venmo, and Britton with a $10 on Venmo, and Tiffany, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I really hope that Tiffany is still in here. Tiffany tells me to please look at the camera and tell Aiden he needs to do his homework so he doesn't turn MAGA. Aiden, listen to your mother. You need to do your homework so you don't turn MAGA. I like the way that your mother, Miss Tiffany, there is thinking. Thank you so much for the $20. You are awesome. As well as Tyler, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo as well. Thank you guys so much for the love. Let's see if there's anybody that I'm missing over on PayPal. You know what? I'll do that in the middle of this conversation. Jimmy, I appreciate you for your patience. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
He's the best president in United States history.
Dead ass? You legitimately think that?
Absolutely.
Jimmy. Jimmy. Wow. Okay. Wow. What has he done? What policy has he passed that has cemented himself as a better president than the guy that freed the slaves?
All right, well, how about he stopped all the wars, first of all?
What wars?
Nobody was able to do that in the last 5 presidencies.
What?
And then he
stopped, Jimmy.
He stopped 8 wars: the Gaza war, Israel.
2 different wars. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we start there, or should I let you name the other 7? How about I let you name the other 7, Jimmy?
We could stop right there. Because
can you name the other 7?
No, I can't.
Okay, we'll start with that one. So you're talking about the peace agreement that he was able to successfully negotiate between Israel and Hamas. Well, did you know that Israel violated that peace agreement 12 hours after it was signed, just the same way they violated the other 5 in the last 3 years? So 12 hours after it was signed, they killed 12 Palestinians. Less than 24 hours after it was signed, they re-cut off all food trade and water routes into the Gaza Strip, isolating them from aid from the UN. 48 hours after that ceasefire agreement was signed, they passed legislation in their parliament to ethnically cleanse in violation of international law and annex the rest of the West Bank. And then 72 hours after that agreement was signed, they gave an official declaration that this is not over and they are going to continue their attacks on Palestine. So, sir, you are wrong.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. I disagree with you, but
I could give you sources for everything that I just said. Would you like them?
We can go on several different subjects. How about the border?
How about it? Name one good policy Donald Trump has ever passed to effectively reduce undocumented entry in the long term.
Yeah, they ain't coming in here by the millions.
Yeah. Do you have a name of a policy, Jimmy?
No, I don't need the policy. They're not coming in here by the millions like Biden allowed.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
right?
I don't think he...
And then
you got something to say. Go ahead.
And then Obama deported more people than the last 3 presidents.
Yeah. So,
but it was okay then.
Well, point number 1.
Now it's not okay.
Let's address all those points together, Jimmy. So, you said that you don't need policy in order to support the fact that undocumented border entries have fallen by over 90%. Well, sir, I'd say what caused that is it good policy, and seemingly we could agree on that. But it's rather like human rights abuse and fascism. Like, think about it this way. All immigrants, regardless if they're legal or not, want to come into this country.
I disagreed as human rights. You have no right to our due process and constitution when you come here illegally. You committed a crime. It's a felony to come here illegally. Yes or no?
Well, it's actually not a felony. It's adjudicated as a misdemeanor. And then you said criminals don't have a constitutional right to due process? Then who is it for?
Yeah, not somebody from another country that comes here illegally.
Why? What part of the Constitution says that?
Because you have to be born here. You have to be an American citizen to get our Constitution.
Okay, where does it say that in the Constitution?
It says it in the Constitution.
Where?
That you have to be American born. Like a pregnant woman from Mexico could step over the border, have her kid, and then all of a sudden they have all the rights?
Yes.
That's nonsense, bro.
Where in the Constitution does it say that you have to be a citizen in order to have constitutional
I don't have the Constitution in front of me.
Oh,
I know the Constitution.
I do. So if you actually go to the 14th Amendment, subsection 3, it's called the Equal Protections Clause, that says all people on American soil and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are subject to equal protection under the eyes of the law. And this has been re-adjudicated by our courts, including the Supreme Court, so many times to include undocumented immigrants. One case that stands out would be Plyer v. Doe, that adjudicated in 1989 that undocumented immigrants are subject to constitutional protections.
Yeah, I disagree with that, but
yeah, well, that's the law, buddy. Now, I actually have a really good counter argument to your position that only citizens are entitled to rights. Are you pro-choice, pro-lethal abortion in all 50 states, all 9 months?
I think the government should stay out of a woman's body. That's my position on that.
Shit, Jimmy, what the hell's going on? I mean, but what the hell? How do we just get from you saying that only citizens have rights to then saying the government should stay out of women's bodies? Jimmy, you are an interesting person.
Yep.
What the?
Yeah, I don't think it's a government's problem to come in my house if I get my girl pregnant and we both decide to have an abortion. That's the only thing. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm just like factual, independent, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, very, very interesting, Jimmy. Well, just to go back to that last point, so I was able to read you off the wording of the Constitution, right? When it's granting rights to people, it doesn't say if you're a citizen you get this right. It says if you're a person on American soil, all people have these rights. And then I even gave you case law from the Supreme Court to adjudicate that have adjudicated undocumented immigrants have constitutional rights, like Plyer v. Doe. You just said that you focus on the facts. Sir, these are the facts, and you're denying them.
Yeah, well, I disagree with that. It says you have to be born in American soil. You can't just step over the border, have a kid, and then it's an American citizen? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, that's what the first section of the 14th Amendment says.
No, it don't.
I mean, do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, read it to me.
Perfect, my friend. Here's the 14th Amendment, Section 1, off of constitution.congress.gov. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction of the United States are citizens of the United States.
Exactly. You just said it.
What did I say that you think proves your point?
Born in the United States.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, so somebody can. So is it illegal to come in this country?
You said a pregnant woman. You said a pregnant woman would come into America then give birth, right?
Yeah.
So that child of the pregnant woman is born where?
In America, and she can go home.
Okay, so were you asking me if
she's not an American citizen?
Wait. Are you asking me if she became an American citizen or if the child became an American citizen?
No, both.
Okay, so the child
definitely is.
Yeah, but so you're right. If a pregnant woman has a child on American soil, that doesn't automatically make her a citizen. But that's not what we're debating. We're debating if undocumented immigrants have constitutional protections, like a right to due process.
Yeah, I disagree with that. They don't have due process. How could you have due process when you say United States Constitution? I don't understand.
Do you just want to read that? Let's just read the due process clause. So this is going to be, once again, the 14th Amendment, Section 1.3. Let's see. Yes, here it goes. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Okay.
Are undocumented immigrants people?
Yeah, but they're here illegally.
Does it change illegally? Does it change the fact they're a person? Jimmy?
So can I punch someone in the face and then claim something?
If you punch somebody in the face, you will be given due process for a charge of assault. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm a United States citizen.
Well, no, because
that's what I'm talking about.
Remember, we just read the Constitution. It says, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
All right.
Okay.
Any state means United States. It doesn't mean Venezuela.
Right. Actually, yes. An undocumented immigrant in America is not guaranteed due process in Venezuela. Jimmy.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. I was just listening to a couple of your interviews.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just listening to a couple of your interviews, and I told my girl, I said, try to get him on there because I had a couple things to say.
What do you got to say, Jimmy? You got my attention.
I just told you. I just told you everything.
Jimmy, do you see how you're obviously wrong here? The Constitution says all people have due process. Are undocumented immigrants people?
No, you said all people have due process in the states. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, in the United States of America, yes.
Yeah, United States, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
So the Constitution of America is for America. What's the confusion?
The confusion is you're not from the United States.
Oh, but that doesn't change the fact that they have due process in the United States because they're a person. And the Constitution says all people, all persons here have due process, regardless of where they're born.
In the States, it says,
yes,
right?
In the United States, yes. So if an undocumented immigrant is in the United States, then they have due process here. Can we agree?
No, I disagree with that.
Okay, why do you disagree with that, considering the fact that the Constitution says all persons have due process here?
I'm not disagreeing with the Constitution and the wording with that. I personally disagree.
Oh, so you just don't think they should have due process?
No, absolutely not.
So then how would we determine if they're an undocumented immigrant?
Well, I don't know, because Biden let fucking 10 million people into the...
So how are we going to determine who is and is not one of those 10 million people?
I don't know. ICE is doing it right now.
With what? With due process? I mean, in many scenarios, no would be the answer.
It doesn't even matter if there's due process there. ICE is getting rid of them.
Okay, but I didn't ask you if ICE is deporting undocumented immigrants. I asked you, how are we going to determine who is and is not an undocumented immigrant if we don't give them due process?
I don't know. They need to figure it out at the border.
No, because obviously the reason why you don't know, the reason why you can't answer that question is because the only way to answer that question would be that we would determine who is and is not an undocumented immigrant through through due process, okay? Right? That's why you can't answer that question, because any answer that you would give to that question would amount to due process.
All right, so the taxpayers should pay for all them court hearings and the judge's salary and the lawyers and everything. That's what you're saying?
Well, I actually don't think they should, because I don't agree with mass deportation. One of the reasons is that it's so expensive. But if you do agree with mass deportation, then absolutely you should say the taxpayers should pay for those court proceedings, because if we didn't have those court proceedings, then how the hell would we know if we weren't deporting a citizen?
Well, when they're swimming across the river and not coming in legally, that's how you determine.
So sorry. So everyone that's being deported, do they just find them swimming across the quote unquote river? Or are they finding them in the suburbs in Chicago and Memphis?
I don't know what they're doing with the ICE.
LA.
What I'm saying is, at the point of entry, if you're swimming across into the United States, and you ain't standing in line like everybody else waiting a year or two to come here illegally, you're cutting in line to everybody else.
So what about for all of the undocumented immigrants that aren't caught at the border? Keep in mind, 99.9% of the undocumented immigrants that are being deported today by ICE are not caught at the southern border. Right? They're caught already in America. I mean, you just talked about the 10 million undocumented immigrants that were brought into this country under Biden. I mean, do you think that those 10 million undocumented immigrants are still, quote unquote, swimming a river at the border? Or do you think that they're working jobs, running businesses, providing for their family, making this country better, right, in all 50 states?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, all right. So how do we determine who is and is not an undocumented immigrant, right, in this country without giving them some type of process to examine the facts?
All right. Well, I just said when they're swimming across the border, 20,000 people at a time, you could figure it out right there.
That's a ridiculous thought. 20,000 people swimming across the border at any given time.
No, I'm just making up a number. Just whatever it is.
I know you're making up a number. 10 people,
whatever.
Hey, Jimmy, are you a Christian?
Yep.
Jimmy, no, you're not. No, you're not, Jimmy. Because Leviticus 19:11 says, let's just go ahead and pull up the very specific verse here. Quote unquote, the foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Treat them as yourself, for you are foreigners in Egypt. I'm the Lord your God. And you are very specifically arguing an opposite of what the scripture says here, because you're saying they should be treated so much differently than the quote unquote native born that they shouldn't even be granted rights.
I agree with that.
So you disagree with the Bible?
Yeah, I guess I do right now.
So then you're not Christian, because that's...
All right, we established that. I'm not Christian.
Jimmy, you're going to... Dude, Jimmy, you love Trump more than God. If you're willing just to throw your religion out the window, if you're willing just to throw that scripture out the window, if you're willing to sit here and say, I'm Christian, but when Donald Trump contradicts my Christian beliefs, I'm actually not a Christian any longer, you love Trump more than you love God.
Yeah, that's not true.
Explain to me how.
It's just not true.
Give me an explanation. There's absolutely no way you can explain you can explain the fact that you told us you were Christian. Then I clearly pointed to scripture that contradicts Donald Trump's policy and your support for it. And then you just turn your back on the scripture to continue to support Trump and his policy. Listen, you said that you're a Christian. Who determines what's right and wrong? You and Trump or God?
Or Biden and Jesus, or Obama and Jesus, or Hillary Clinton and Jesus.
Who determines what's right and wrong? You and Trump or God?
Yeah. Well, it's my decision.
Oh, so you think that you believe that the Christian God exists. You believe that he's perfect. You believe that he's all powerful, and you believe that he's all good. You believe that he's the divine arbiter of morality, but you believe you know better than him.
No, that's not what I said.
So if you don't believe that you know better than him, when we read Leviticus 19:11, where God says, do not treat the foreigners residing among you in your land any differently than the native born, this is when you fucking bow the knee and you apologize for your sins.
Oh, okay. So we should just have open borders. Every country in the world has borders.
Well, I mean, if you think the natural consequence, right, of what God is teaching us in Leviticus 19 is open borders, then absolutely, it's God's commandment.
All right, so we should just open the borders of the whole world.
Pray to Jesus. Pray to Jesus about it, not me.
Yeah. And turn the United States into a third world country.
Well, it's actually be a godly country according to your interpretation of the scripture. Didn't know that godly is third world.
It would be in my life.
What?
I said it would be in my life a godly world. But that doesn't mean that anything can happen without any consequences. It's the same thing if I punch somebody in the face. That's a crime. There's consequences to that.
Where are the consequences for Donald Trump's 34 felonies?
Yeah.
Remember, he actually didn't get any consequences because you voted for him to be president. Then he won the presidency, and then the judge gave him a sentence of nothing because he didn't want to send a sitting president to jail. You advocated for a criminal to get by with no accountability for his crimes, and that's a fact.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him anyway, but...
Well, you support him today. Not much of a difference in my mind, sir. Because although maybe you didn't vote for him to be president, you didn't vote for him to scapegoat accountability, you're actively supporting him in avoiding accountability today.
Yeah. So Kamala Harris would have been better?
Say that again for me, my friend.
Kamala Harris would have been better?
Are you saying Kalama?
Whatever.
Jimmy, I genuinely don't know, but based upon the conversation that I've had with you for the last 30 minutes or so, I genuinely don't know if you're intentionally mispronouncing her name or that's just truly how you think it's pronounced because you're not the brightest of the bunch.
I don't care that much.
Okay, well, it's pronounced Kamala.
Kamala?
Say Kama?
Kamala?
Say just let's break it down. Say Kama.
Now, you don't have to correct me on my speech, bro.
Just call her Miss Harris. How about that?
So you would have voted for her instead of Trump?
Yes.
You're out of your mind, bro.
Why is that?
Because she didn't do shit.
She passed tie-breaking votes in the Senate out of any vice president in all of American history, and she passed some of the most monumental legislation in modern American history, like the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Infrastructure Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, or the American Rescue Plan. You're wrong.
All right. Well, how about the border?
How about the border? How about the bipartisan border bill that the Biden-Harris administration pushed to get passed through Congress that Donald Trump then turned around and called the Republicans and told them to vote against because it was so good, probably would have lost him the election.
Yeah, I don't believe none of that.
No, of course. You don't believe reality? I'm well aware.
Yeah. I'm definitely in reality.
What reality are you in? It's not mine. It's not God's. We already proved that. Not God's.
Obviously, it's not yours.
It's not God's. Remember that? Remember when you said that you're a Christian? Then I was like, the Christian scripture very clearly contradicts what you believe in. And then you're like, well, turns out I'm actually not Christian.
Yeah. Well, maybe I ain't as of now.
Dude. Yeah, you literally now think that you're literally going to go to hell because you just can't give up your support of a fascist. Come on.
Yeah.
You're going to turn your back on Jesus before you will turn your back on Trump.
Yeah, he's a fascist. He's a racist. All these people talk all this shit.
Dude, preach. Oh, my God, Jimmy. Dude, hell yeah. I'm starting to like you. He is. I mean, I can tell you why. He's a fascist because he fulfills all 14 tenets and defining characteristics of fascism. And he's a racist because in the 70s, he refused to rent to black tenants. He got sued by the New York State Justice Department for that. In the 90s, he was all black. Jimmy, what?
Good.
And why is it good to refuse to rent your properties to black people?
Oh, I wonder why. You want to get on that subject?
Yes, Jimmy, I do. What is the reason why it is good to refuse to rent your properties to black people?
Are you joking? Did you ever see The Neighborhoods?
Did I ever see The Neighborhoods? Are you talking about neighborhoods?
Yeah. Where do you live? Hollywood somewhere?
No, what neighborhoods are you talking about, Jimmy?
Yeah, all kinds of neighborhoods. Newark, New Jersey, New York.
Okay. Have I ever seen
Los Angeles?
I've seen LA. I've seen New York. Why does this tell us that it's a good thing to refuse to rent to black people?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them because they don't pay the rent.
Oh, so black people don't pay the rent. What?
Yep.
Jimmy, okay. You're very racist, Jimmy. So, point number one, right, to look at the color of somebody's skin and to say because of the melanin content within it that therefore they will not pay rent, keep it in mind that the color of their skin is an immutable characteristic, an attribute that they were born with, that they did not choose, that they cannot control. That is not wrong in any way. Crazy, I have to say that out loud. What could that possibly inform us about their ability to pay rent? Jimmy, what could that possibly tell us about their ability to pay a bill? The melanin content in their skin. Jimmy, your mic is muted. I muted you when you started going KKK mode. I honestly, Jimmy, I don't know if you're going to be able to figure out how to unmute. I want you to go to get Kim over. Grab Kim. I want you guys to both try to fix this issue together. You're going to see a box down there in the bottom of the screen. Just make sure. Wow, you did it. Holy crap.
I'm able to do it.
Thank you, Kim. Back to you, Jimmy. So,
he walked away.
Is there any way he wants to finish this conversation?
I think he's going to the bathroom. Let me see. I know he could be a bit much.
Kim, what do you? Let me know if you don't want to answer this question. It's okay. How do you maintain a relationship with this man?
I ignore what he says. I don't listen to him.
Is he anywhere near? Can he hear me right now?
He probably can, yeah.
I'll leave it there. Okay. All right. Is he? Is it looking like he wants to finish the conversation, or should I just move on?
I'd say probably move on at this point because I don't think he's gonna finish.
Okay. All right. Yeah, have a good one, Kim. Have a good one. Man, there's a lot that I want to say, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want him to hear me. Ducky, I appreciate you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Ducky with the $20 says I want him to turn on the camera and say it with his chest. He ran away. He couldn't even say it with the camera off anymore. Narcissa, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Who says please bring Jimmy's girlfriend back on? Yeah, I wanted to talk to her, but not at. I mean, Jimmy is not picking up what I'm putting down here. Obviously, don't need to worry about that. I bet you guys can though. Can you guys like reasonably understand without me saying it out loud why I didn't want to, talk to Kim too much? Alexa, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Appreciate you so much for the love. As well as Maya, thank you so much for the $6.90. Thank you so much, Maya. Sella, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Saying he hates immigrants more than he loves God. Yes, no, dude. Jimmy literally fucking, dude, hates immigrants more than he loves God. Hates immigrants more than he loves God. Isn't that a sad reality? Jenna, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo saying, I want Jimmy to meet tinfoil hat Dean with the gay frogs. Jenna, he would have, I don't think he would have been able to handle that. Paige, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much for the love. And Atticus, thank you so much for the $10. Kayla with the $10. Alexis, thank you so much for the $15. Appreciate that. And then Guy, this came in 20 minutes ago, but I still want to thank you. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, who says you were awesome. Thank you for the love, Guy. And then Tyler, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo around 26 minutes ago. Thank you so much for the love. And then Lisa with the 10. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate everyone so much for the love. What a crazy conversation we're just having with him. You know, we are well over 4 hours in the stream. I feel like I got another one in me. You guys want to see another debate? I'm down to do one last one. Anna, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you, Anna. And then Cammy, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal, who says Jimmy is super racist, super disgusting. Dude, that guy was racist as fuck. Are you kidding me? Total fucking racist. Thank you so much for the $20, Cammy. That is so incredibly kind of you. Let's get 2,000 W Cammys down below in that comment section while we're looking for the last guest of the night. Guys, keep in mind, this will be the last debate before we get off. But seriously, Cammy, thank you for the $20. If you do want to support me before we end the stream here, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio over on TikTok and PayPal. Over on TikTok, where you can find the Venmo and the PayPal, as well as Carl. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Wait, never mind, that was a request. Then Fab, thank you for the $10 on PayPal, who says thank you for educating all of us. Thank you for the love, Fab. You're awesome. All right, moving on. We're going to get the last Trump supporter up here right now. We got Just Weld at 91 connecting. Nancy, thank you for the $10 on PayPal, who says, Dean, you went through war today. Thank you so much, and thank you for your work. Love from Canada. Love to Canada, Nancy. Yeah, I don't know. I did go to war today, but for whatever reason, like, I feel okay. You know, it's like I'm becoming a little bit better at, like, just trying not to give an emotional reaction, which is so difficult when they're, like, just being so apparently racist. You know, I'm working on it, though. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how old are you?
34.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Well, he's done a lot of stuff that I've liked, you know.
Like what? Let's go ahead and get 5 exampple of things that Donald Trump has done that you're a fan of. Let's hear them.
Well, he doesn't like abortion.
Okay.
I'm for that.
Yeah, and 4 more.
And hold up, let me think here. Just got off work, you know.
That's I get it.
Okay, let's see. That the border.
The border is a word. That's not like an action that Donald Trump has taken.
Oh, my bad. Action. His policy on the immigrants.
Which one?
God, I can't name a policy. I mean,
and how do you know you like him if you can't name him?
Oh, I'm a Trump supporter, so there you go.
Well, Trump supporters do say they like Trump without being able to specify specific things that he has done that cause them to like Trump, but I find that to be an issue with widespread misinformation, political propaganda, compared towards a upholding of critical thought and grounding our beliefs reasonably with fact, reason, and logic.
Yeah, biggest is abortion. No, you know,
stop abortion. Okay,
yeah,
Timmy.
Yeah. I'm so big on it that I stopped jerking off every morning.
You're trolling. Are you trolling? If so, are you troll?
No, not at all. Well, yeah, I mean, I did stop jerking off.
What year were you? I don't want the life. What year were you born in?
1991, sir. April 10th.
Dude. Wait.
Well, I mean, I just didn't agree with it.
Do you think that abortion? Do you think that actually, guys, this guy's not a troll. Go look at his page. He's not a troll. Wow, this guy's not a troll. Look at his page. He's real. Look at it, guys.
I'm real. I'm real.
Oh my god! You're telling us that, like, you literally, dude. Oh my, dude.
I'm real and alive. Yes, sir.
Wait, so you think that, like, doing the deed, right? masturbation is the same as a woman getting an abortion?
Yeah, that's why I stopped. I got blue balls really bad.
Do you think that abortion is murder?
Yes.
So
I mean, I think
so
now.
Are you a murderer because you've jerked off before?
God, I hate to say it, but yes.
Dude, no, come on, dude, drop the bit. You're obviously like a real 34-year-old. Okay, we see that from your page, but this can't not be a bit.
Yeah, I think it's wrong after everything I've said. I've come to the Lord, and
well, you definitely don't do that anymore. You don't come anymore. So no, just go ahead.
Yeah, I don't project now sperm to the toilet anymore.
Go ahead. So you came to the Lord. Go ahead.
Yeah, I came to the Lord, and I stopped projectiling sperm into the
Lord,
toilet.
dude, that's really fucking. I'm sorry. Go.
My bad. I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Oh no, this is terrible. No, go ahead. So, okay, you're a devout follower of Jesus Christ.
I'll say, I found, Jesus. So
yeah,
and I stopped projectiling sperm into the toilet.
You're such a fucking troll. Get off my goddamn life. Get off my live, motherfucker. Okay. All right, I'm glad that we ended the day on a pretty silly troll compared to Jimmy just being a fucking racist buffoon. Get off my live, bro. Nancy, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, as well as Matina. Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Holy shit. Matina with the $50 says that was a rough one. Sad to see Jimmy is willing to commit blasphemy for Maga. Yes, he was literally willing to commit actual blasphemy for Maga. You can't make that shit up, folks. Thank you for the $50, Matina. That is so kind of you. Roberto, thank you so much for this $16 over on Venmo. You know what, Roberto? I bet I'll be able to fulfill that. I'll try. I'm not going to read it out loud, but I bet. Thank you for the $16. As well as Jody, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for that love. Jody says, my boyfriend is huge MAGA and tries to change my mind and join the dark side. Your show helps me show to him that he is wrong. Well, that's awesome, Jody. Feel free if you ever want to get him up on the live. I'd love to chat with him. But thank you for the $25, Jody. As well as Shayla with a 15, saying, my sister stopped talking to me over my anti-MAGA views. Appreciate your logistics and direct sources to help direct conversations. Yes, I understand exactly where you're at, Shayla. I was there for a handful of years with my own family, too. I get it. I hope that you guys are able to work things out and you're able to change your mind. As well as Tess with a 5, Alexa with a 5, and Maya with a 5. Appreciate you guys for the love. And Karu and Sophie, appreciate you guys for the $5 on Super Chat. Thank you. Listen, folks, for the 13.8 thousand people hanging out with us over on TikTok and the 4.5 thousand people hanging out with us on YouTube. I had a hell of a lot of fun today. Thank you guys so much for joining in. It was actually a good stream for whatever reason, even though the people were terrible. I'm in a good mood. I don't know. Maybe that's because I slept well last night. By the way, guys, I have massive fucking sleep issues, chronic sleep issues. I don't know why, but they're bad. Usually I'll wake up 4 or 5 times every single night, and I'm perpetually deprived of sleep. Last night, 8.5 hours, didn't wake up once. So I was feeling super energized and refreshed today, which is maybe why I'm in a good mood. But folks, everyone in the chat is spamming don't, and unfortunately, I gotta use the restroom and I gotta go cook some dinner. So I am gonna end, but before I do, there's a good friend of mine. His name is Parker. He does these debates too. Let's go ahead and give him a little bit of a ring and see when he's hopping on. You better answer. You better. Yeah, I got you on stream right now.
I got you on stream too, bro.
Oh, you're already live?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was actually just calling you to see when you were going live, so I could send you a raid.
I just started literally a few minutes ago.
Look at Parker, everyone. Listen, I'm gonna go send you guys on a raid to this nice guy's stream. Okay, he's doing debates right now. I'm gonna send you a raid. See you, Parker.
All right, I'll see you, man. Thank you, man.
Of course. Oh fuck! He was saying something there at the end, and I hung up on him before he could finish saying it. Sorry, Parker. My fault. For everyone on TikTok, head over to @ParkerGetAJob on TikTok. He's going to be doing some of these debates, talking to Trump supporters for the next 4 to 6 hours. And for the 4,000 people hanging out with us on YouTube, you can find him on YouTube too, @ParkerGetAJob. I love y'all. Peace and love. And see you tomorrow, folks. Good night and good.